The Fanatic.
Good morning. Thought I'd help you wake up.
It's 6 a.m. and you're listening to The John Kincade Show, Philadelphia's longest-running sports talk morning show. On 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
Let the party begin!
The show starts now.
And it begins. Opening day has finally arrived. It doesn't feel like it outside, but I guarantee it's going to feel like it today at 4 o'clock when you roll into P.J. Wellahan's with us in Doylestown, or maybe you roll into your local PJ's, or you sit on your living room couch and you get ready for game one of 162 as the Phillies get ready to take on the Texas Rangers. In the first game of the season, we've made it. And honestly, it was the shortest offseason I can ever remember. And I think probably the Eagles' run had a lot to do with that. The fact that we were still doing the last Eagles game was February the 12th, Super Bowl 57. And then by the time you decompress from that, we only had to go around 6 weeks. And spring training came in. We had some storylines, not all of them good, like the loss of Rhys Hoskins and the problems with Ranger Suarez. But this is a loaded Phillies team that, if they can get healthy, should be as good as anyone in baseball or close to it. And it all starts today in Texas. We begin today, the 6 a.m. hour of the John Kincade Show, brought to you by Bradford White Water Heaters. Bradford White's here for the pro. This was the shortest winter of my life, Bob, as far as winter being without baseball. Without that break between football and baseball usually seems much more incessant than it feels this year.
Yeah, I mean, it is different. You mentioned it. When the Phillies won the World Series in 2008, it was October 10th. They lost this one, the last game of the World Series. It was a lot later than that.
Was it October 10th?
It was October 10th in 2008 when they won it. Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
And this year we're talking, November 5th.
Wow.
So almost a full. So you said,
my mind's all off, yeah.
You said it seems like the quickest back-to-back baseball seasons. It is. That's because it is. So, yeah, right back at it. I don't know how it would affect the players. I heard Schwarber say in, one of the early interviews in spring training, like, yeah, this was short, quick turnaround, but that's good. Is it? I don't know. I don't know if it'll affect them at all. The excitement of opening day and a new season will last for a while, but then getting back into the groove, we'll see. We'll see how tired these guys may get. Maybe you'll see some slumps early on, but excited as hell for today.
Most talented team since 2011, Pat? Roster? Top to bottom, not even a question?
Tough. Yeah, I guess. I guess you'd have to give the edge to 2011 squad was so damn good. That was the best talent-wise I've ever seen.
I hated how that club was built.
Yeah, I loved it.
I did not like after watching year after year after year doing this job in Atlanta and watching them load up on starting pitching and having it develop into one World Series, I thought the exact same thing. I'm like, I don't understand the process. Softer bullpen, stronger starting pitching. I didn't like it.
I mean, they had a loaded lineup too. Like,
yeah, so did the Braves all this.
All right, then we'll never build up a pitching staff because one team tried it and it didn't work.
No,
you
I
have
got
to
you.
get Jamie Moyer to get you 16 wins.
Honestly, today I'd rather have a mix and match bullpen. I'd rather have good starting pitching and a mix and match bullpen. I don't know if that's how it's just baseball's built.
I just think they just hit a really hot Cardinals team. I think they were the best team I've ever seen. I don't want to be reactionary. This team's pretty damn loaded, but they also have holes. We're propping up Derek Hall thinking that, all right, he'll hit 20 to 25. He might suck. We don't know. The injuries to Ranger Suarez might be devastating. We don't know. Like, there are more questions with this team, so I'm going to have to give the edge to 2011 because that team was stacked.
Are you feeling that you're not being told something on Ranger Suarez?
Well, they came out with the 2 weeks. He's going to miss the first 2 weeks of the season, they said. So if we go by that, if he misses the first 2 weeks of the season, he better have his ass out there pitching pretty soon. It's not like basketball or hockey or something where you say, yeah, he's healed, and you throw him out there. You can't do that with a starting pitcher. So he's been shut down for a little while. If he's going to pitch in 2 weeks, if he's going to miss the first 2 weeks of the season, and you're looking at week 3 for him to come back, yeah, he's going to have to start ramping it up pretty soon in order to be ready to get out there and make a start in the 3rd week of the season.
I don't believe half of what these teams tell you as far as injuries are concerned. There's something about this that isn't sounding true to me. It isn't ringing true. I think it sounds as if they just don't want to admit something, or they're going to wait something out. Hopefully it's okay.
Well,
it seems very they're very, very vague as far as it. And you heard Jason Stark yesterday with the best show ever. It just seems like they're being very cagey about whatever's going on.
Yeah, well, sometimes with injuries, you just don't know until the next day. Okay, so maybe Ranger Suarez felt really good yesterday, right? So he feels good enough for you guys to say, okay, guys, let's go out and start throwing and take a few tosses today. And then he comes back and it's like, damn, it doesn't feel good today. So then it's like, or he comes back and it says, yeah, feel good today. Let's amp it up a little bit more. So, injuries, it's like anything else. You come in, I come in with a sore knee, a sore back, whatever. You just don't know. So I don't know if they're hiding something or anything like that. Could it be something that lingers longer? Sure. Do they know that now? Probably not. Is it something that maybe in 2 weeks he is ready to go? Maybe. You just don't know with injuries.
Opening day for your Philadelphia Phillies, and you can try new PJ's seasonal specials, including their wing of the month, the Tennessee two-step. Bob, if I told you Tennessee two-step, I'm trying some of this today.
There's got to be some. Well, Tennessee reminds me of like pork and stuff, so you wonder if there's some kind of angle with there.
Like
with
wrapping a wing in bacon, Pat? They wouldn't do that.
Yeah, you imagine that. I was wrong. The Phillies won, I'm sorry, real quick, on October
30th?
29th.
Yes. I thought it was Halloween was the parade.
It was.
Oh,
Yeah,
it was?
Yeah, it was.
Okay,
the
Tennessee
Phillies won
two-step.
October 29th, and then the parade was the 31st.
What would you
I'm gonna
guess is
say
Tennessee two-step?
There's got to be 2 types of barbecue sauce mixed together.
Great idea on the two-step. Okay, you're on to it. Pat, you have any idea on the
I
two-step?
have no damn clue.
A mashup of their signature sauces, the Nashville Hot and the garlic parm. And I know you're a big fan of garlic parm.
I do like the garlic parm. I'm going to get some of them today, Pat.
That
with our
sounds
Brussels
spicy
sprouts.
good today. The wing of the month, the Tennessee two-step. We'll be out at the P.J. Wellahan's in Doylestown. I'm not sure about the garlic. The garlic parm wing is spectacular.
Yeah.
I need to brush my teeth and then gargle afterwards because it really starts to, I can taste it for an hour. But the barbecue with it, that'll be an interesting taste today. Come on out and hang out with us. The folks from Paul B. Moyer and Son are all coming out. In fact, they're closing the showroom a little early.
Yeah, good dudes last night. That was fun hanging out with them.
Good people. Had a great time. Where were we last night? Well, we saw the Sixers beat the Mavs 116-108 last night. And I would say that the Sixers' performance last night, spotty?
Yeah, that's fair enough. Spotty.
When they needed
rusty.
to, they turned it on.
Yeah, got some key three-point shooting from some people. D'Anthony Melton hit some. Yeah, it was weird. As the game's going on, Harden absolutely looked rusty. He and Embiid weren't on the their game is such a precise, pocket pass. You're there. This first play of the game, they run it. He throws a pocket pass, and Embiid didn't cut to the basket. And they look at each other like, shoot, we haven't done this in a week or so.
Let's wake up a little bit.
Yeah, did enough to get the win. Harden.
I felt like they were going to win. Like, even when they were trailing by like 6 late in the third quarter, and then it was 4, and I felt like they were going to pull that game out.
Yeah, it felt like a win, and plus Dallas just isn't playing very good basketball right now and all that.
They got Kyrie.
But I know. But it was good to get that win. You don't want to let that go away.
Pat, did you hear his comments?
No.
Kyrie says that a push for the playoffs in like the to avoid the play-in tournament was not what he was expecting when he joined the Dallas Mavericks.
No, my heart bleeds for him.
It's a little depressing.
I mean, he could be on the Nets if he wants.
I'm telling you.
Oh, wait. No, he asked out of there, too.
I think he's certifiable. I'm absolutely convinced now.
Yeah, he's going to wind up in L.A. next year. And
he's sitting behind a microphone going, this isn't what I expected when I came here.
He got into it with a fan last night, too, again.
He wanted to eject a fan again?
Yeah.
My gosh, he is a nutcase.
He always does.
He's seriously a nutcase.
Every time he's here, he gets into it with a fan.
Oh, no, the other night he had a fan ejected. Did you see that? You didn't see? He walked over, Pat, and had a fan ejected right from. He's like pointing back three
What
rows.
do the fans say there? Because sometimes I'm with the player, but sometimes the players are soft.
Everybody in the area went like this. Yeah. Everybody around the guy. You know that. If a guy's being a real a-hole, the people will tend to turn on the guy in the stands.
Cheer for the guy's ejection.
Right. No, that wasn't the case. They were like, people were like this, like, I don't know what the hell he's talking about. He's a nutcase. The morning mind bender from Coach. Why is 62, 75, and 2 significant?
All right, I think I know this one.
I'm going to guess that I know it too.
Bob, do you know it?
This is the first I'm looking at it. 62, 75, and 2. Pat's amateur boxing record?
Close. I'm going to go with John. Do you want to go first?
No, you can go.
Phillies opening day record.
That's what I'm guessing also.
That's
what I
very
guessed.
good, both of you.
Coach?
Yeah.
Is that it?
Pretty darn close.
What is
What
it?
does that mean?
In modern day baseball, that is their opening record. That was very specific in the facts that I found. Modern day.
You had a fax machine? You had your fax machine out?
I did.
Kiss my modern day ass.
1923. There's in 1923 and 1924, they tied both years back to back on opening day. Didn't know you could do that in baseball.
Well, back then, I guess it was something that was. I guess you could do.
Yeah, and then the game.
Remember, there were no
the
lights.
Game evolved.
There were no lights.
Well, they were good games. They ran out of pitches because I was covering it. I was the secondary guy covering it in 23. 24, I took the year off.
Oh, they sent 2 people.
Yeah. Well,
Wow, that was
the horse was big enough to take both of us.
the newspaper sent more back then.
Yeah.
Well, they had to send one guy for the early edition and one guy for the late edition.
One was the photographer. All right, since 1900, since we're talking modern day baseball, how many times have the Phillies won 90 or more games? So we're talking 122 years.
90 or more?
90 or more.
6.
Pat?
I know the answer. You told me
No,
yesterday.
that was the wrong answer. I told you so.
7.
Coach, what do you got?
90 or more.
Out of 122 seasons, John goes 6 90 or more.
Yep.
Pat goes 7.
I'm going to go 11.
And guess what? We're both
14.
wrong. 14.
Yeah, 3 times they've won more than 100. 3 times, and all those 3 times, they didn't win a World Series.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
They won 88, I believe, the year they won the World Series in 2008.
They won 92.
They won 92.
I thought it was 86 that year, but
Wow, 92.
if only we could look it up.
Last year was 87.
Yes, it was.
That's incredible. I feel very optimistic today, though. It's a great day. It's a great start to the year.
That's why opening day baseball is so great, because of the optimism you have.
I have a event to be to today, or I would be wearing my Phillies gear early, but I'll be wearing it later on today. And Jacob deGrom goes up against the Phillies today with a 9-1 record and an ERA of 2.17 and 136 strikeouts and 20 appearances. He owns. Mr. Middleton has to share his parking spot because Jacob deGrom owns the Phillies.
Yeah.
Just dominates them.
Yeah, he does. And you hate pitchers like that. Growing up, there were certain pitchers that every time the Phillies faced him, you're like, oh, no, this isn't going to be good. DeGrom's that now. You wait for it. You wait like, all right, they'll get him this time. They'll get him this time. Just hasn't happened. The guy's a great pitcher.
He's just amazing.
He's one of the guys. Maddox was like this. There's been a few others that even though they're on the other team, you can appreciate their pitching performance that they usually put on.
It was absolutely awesome. I mean, he has such efficiency too. Tonight's game may be done by 5 of 6.
It's the only awesome thing about it.
I mean, this is.
It is. It's the only good thing about facing Jacob deGrom is he works quickly. He's always worked quickly, and then with the pitch count.
And then Aaron Nola will be there.
Yeah.
Well, he's got nothing to do but pitch quicker.
He's
Got
to pitch quicker. Let's put it that way. Connor Thomas needs to come around.
Oh, God.
Wait a minute now. We need to acknowledge this because I witnessed it all from beginning to end.
No, we do.
We do have to acknowledge it.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do.
Why?
Because he's deserving of it. Because
he's not.
You'll ridicule him when he doesn't. Connor Thomas was the last man standing or woman standing from 97.5 The Fanatic last night in the knockout competition with a finely executed performance.
Gentlemen, how are we doing this morning?
Nothing to critique about that performance. He hustled.
It's true.
He rebounded the ball well.
Factual.
He went to the hoop.
Correct.
He played it right.
I
Played it
appreciate
right. There's
that.
nothing to be critical of. Connor was the champion from the station. Now, the rest of the station, it wasn't as smooth.
Well, I'll say this. Not only is this a win for the entirety of the John Kincade show.
Oh, it
bringing
is.
the
So this
championship
counts
back
for us?
here.
Okay, good.
I'm good. I don't need to jump on your bandwagon.
You don't even play, so this is a win for the rest of the John Kincade show. The final 2 Fanatic staff members were myself and Heavy Chevy
And
back
Heavy
there.
Chevy.
So we got a clean sweep of the last 2 left here.
You know what I was impressed with? You and Chevy standing next to each other.
Yeah.
Oh, good for you.
I think it's good. I think they went out there and Pat, Connor didn't try to find a soft spot.
Nope.
Him and Chevy went head to head in this competition.
Man, it's like those Vegas odds weren't too bad.
It really, I mean, that was pretty good.
A lot of people were talking crap about the Vegas odds, but the guy who was third in the odds ended up winning it. So
It's true.
Who was the top guy in the odds?
Jamie.
Who did he get knocked out by?
Jenna Cooney.
Again. His
Again.
arch nemesis. She is his Jacob deGrom.
His
Jenna-
Boston Celtics.
Jenna Cooney Jenna does not trash talk. She just smirks.
Yeah, she knows what's what.
That's
she just
worse.
smirks.
Except
The
worse.
the smirk is worse. Pat, I'm telling you, Jenna left Jamie in a pile by the side of the road, and Jamie's like, oh,
not surprised.
oh man, and did she talk trash? Nope.
She never
it was
does.
it was the smirk, and it was was that you, Bob? You talked about it. You didn't over celebrate. You didn't.
Yeah, keep my head down and move on.
Jenna always talks in like her facial reactions.
Well,
Yeah.
she
Like
was.
every time I've seen her, she kind of just, I don't
Smirk
think
at
she's
you?
ever actually said any words to me. She just kind of gives me a look like, what the hell is this a-hole doing here?
Well,
First word she said last night after a little bit, where's Pat?
where's Egan?
Yeah, she loves herself some Egan.
5'3" guys aren't meant to be on basketball courts.
We appreciate everybody who came out, though, for I think that was a great tournament, and it was a good showing. And the young man who won, and we'll get his name later on, his brother won last year.
Yeah. Name's Ryan. Ryan was the name.
Ryan, he goes to school up at maybe Methacton. I think he goes to Methacton High School.
He knocked me out, so I wasn't on talking terms with him.
I
Congratulations to Ryan.
Connor, I think
Wow.
that kid was really
No,
kid was really
the last
good.
like 4 or 5 people could shoot it.
But the one thing is that Tunis's buddy Joe
Yeah.
had
Yes.
had game, complete game,
Mm.
and he was hanging around for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, Matt, my cousin Matt made it to the
Yeah.
final 9.
Matty was
10.
around for a bit.
He was around for a bit. And then it went crazy. So great stuff. Great to meet everybody last night. Hope everybody had a great time. Thank you to the Sixers too. That's a really nice event.
Yeah, it is. It's cool.
That's a really
It's
nice
lot
event,
of
and we
fun.
appreciate the Sixers' cooperation with that big time. All right, coming up, Rob Thompson wants to know what you have to say. So, Connor, you're going to get to come back for this one. We're going to need you. John Kincade Show here on 97.5 The Fanatic. You know, summer's coming. And so what did I do yesterday? Check out the NTT IndyCar Series. Experience the PPG 375 at Texas Motor Speedway on Sunday at noon. NBC and Peacock watch the fastest cars and the boldest drivers fight to the finish line. Pat, do you think the 49ers were like bitches after they lost the NFC title game?
Yeah.
I got a great one for you here. So a NFL media member who I have known many, many years shares with me a story from the owners' meetings that a member of the 49ers front office brass, they were talking about, oh, wow, what a tough loss. And this person says, yeah, that was a tough loss. You know, losing to the Philadelphia Eagles the way you did. And the comment that was given, I will give you an exact quote from a text. Let me just make sure I got it here because I don't want to misquote.
Yeah, don't misquote.
Hopefully, when they schedule the rematch game, it'll be like halfway through the season. So this time, they actually give us a fair chance.
The hell does that mean?
I guess the quarterback situation with San Francisco. The 49ers people are already doing, though. I hope they schedule the game for later in the year. So that way, this time, we actually get a fair chance. I was like, they didn't get a fair chance? Like in the championship game?
Your quarterback got knocked out, bro.
And your second string quarterback that day got knocked out.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Like, I don't understand it.
You got knocked out.
It's
we did that to you.
Yes. It wasn't something that was given to the Eagles.
No. They took it.
Hopefully, they scheduled the rematch around halfway through the season at least, so that way we have a fair chance. I swear to God, I cannot stand the 49ers. They are they are a bunch of wimps. Not saying that some of the Eagles players weren't the same after losing to the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl, claiming they were still better and garbage like that. But that's weak sauce to me. You lost, just say, hey, we're going to get them this year. We're going to get them this time around. That's what we're going to do.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know why they continue to go there.
Oh my gosh.
You have enough to worry. I talk about this all the time. Instead of worrying about external factors, worry about your internal stuff. You have a GM that's out there talking, yeah, I think we should go Purdy as the opening day, as our steady quarterback. You're in enough flux that you need to worry about yourself. Stop worrying about other things. Just take care of in-house. And then when time comes, you can, talk air quotes smack if you want.
I can't even imagine Howie Roseman coming out and saying, dictating personnel to Nick Sirianni. Howie doesn't step over bounds like that, I do not believe.
No, I think John Lynch and
Shanahan
are probably in lockstep. He just didn't want him to say the quiet part out loud.
Yeah, I mean, I was surprised at that one.
Yeah, if you're Shanahan, you want a quote open competition
because Kyle thinks a lot of himself.
You want Trey Lance to take the job back because you gave up so much draft capital for him, and then you're able to flip Brock Purdy for something. But you just killed Trey Lance's trade value by saying what you did.
It's unbelievable. Hey, happy hour today. PJ Wellahan's in Doylestown from 4 to 6. We look forward to it. All right, so Rob Thompson got me a message. I got a message from Rob Thompson. And he asked me, he said, could you get the guys to give me a little bit of advice? Like, he goes, I'm trying to come up with some single, like, sort of talking points when I address the team to start the 2023 season, And I said, Topper, we would be willing to do whatever we could for you. Can I call you Topper? Whatever we do, we would be glad to help out. So he's looking for a quick message. He says, not a speech. So when Connor comes up with his, it can't be a speech. It's just a quick message to the team that just puts something in their mind towards 2023. Bob, you're a wordsmith. What would be you handle with words your entire career? Well, if Rob Thompson asked you to do that, and it was a fun thing, you got to talk to the team. What would you say going into 2023? And it's not a speech. It's just what should be their singular thought process in your opinion?
Remember what it took to get you where you were last year. Remember what you didn't have to get you over the top.
Okay, expound on that just a little.
Well,
I like that. I think I really like it.
They know what they had to do to get there. I'm big on this, and I tell you this all the time, John. Getting that experience of getting to the ultimate goal, getting to a Super Bowl, a World Series, any kind of championship, knowing what it took to get there is half the battle in my book. Now they know what it takes to get there. They know that you have to win on the road. They know how hard it is to win playoff games. Know what you didn't do to get you over the top, though. Was it a case of not fielding well? Was it a case of, man, I should have been, more patient at the plate at a certain time? Just carry that with you. What could you have done better to have gotten you over the top? But remember what got you to the top.
Pat, Topper's big fan of yours, by the way. He loves Pat's point of view. It's his favorite part of the show.
My message would be, it's time to dance together because dancing on your own didn't work.
Oh, I love it.
Okay, wait. Expound on that one. That one's awesome.
Yeah, so
that one's awesome.
They talked about, all off season. I'm just dancing on my own. You're a team. You got to act like a team. Teams don't dance on their own. They're not out there shucking and jiving, as the kids say. They're not out there spinning on some cardboard.
I saw kids spinning on cardboard yesterday.
Oh, they're doing the cha-cha slide together.
They are.
Because they're a team. They're doing the train. They're walking around the whole dance floor.
People still spin on cardboard?
Yeah, I saw it yesterday.
Where?
Down at Temple.
Really?
Entire dance club. It's like a Temple dance club. And they put out this giant piece. And these kids were amazing.
That's pretty cool.
They were unbelievable.
Yeah, they're you got to do the train around the dance floor.
Okay.
Where it's a team effort. You're getting other people involved.
I like it, Pat.
Act like a team.
Pat, I really like yours because it plays to that horrid song that we hopefully won't have to hear again this year.
It was pretty
so I really appreciate that one. Connor?
Like all of the Phillies topics for the past 3 days, Bob and mine are very similar.
Is he checking out your notes when you go to the bathroom or something?
He might be. You've been here before. This is the first Phillies team in a decade that is able to build off of a playoff run. And the core largely stayed the same. And you're bringing these guys back to a point where there's no more, we don't know how to do this. There's no more, we don't know what it takes to get in. There's no more, we don't know the feeling of a playoff run. You've been here before. You belong. You are ready to go ahead and do it again. You are perfectly capable of it and more than capable of it because of the offseason additions we've made, the new players, everything like that. You've been here before. Go out there and play like it.
I think we're all sort of on this. I think we're all on the sort of same page.
I fell asleep.
The initial was you've been there before. That was the explanation, Bob.
Okay.
Mine was no more underdogs. Act like you're the favorites. Just you're the National League champs. You're the defending champs. Act like it. Don't act like anything this year surprises you. Act like it. Go on out there and produce. You're the National League champs. You got it. Yeah. I believe they're going to. I believe the swagger of last year is going to carry over.
I think it's going to greatly help Bryson Stott. I think it's going to greatly help Brandon Marsh.
Right.
Even older guys that aren't used to that playoff type of atmosphere, maybe a JT Real Muto. Guys like that hadn't been there. Okay. I see how hard that is playing during the playoffs. Let me just get after it during these 162.
Are you talking about the hunger?
Kind of the hunger, but it's a different baseball game. It just is. We know it from watching it as fans, and it's just the emotion of it all and how every pitch is heightened even more than it is at any other time. You still have that in your gut. You still have that in your head. Playing at that level for as long as they did, for a month and a half that the Phillies had to do it to get to the World Series, that's a good feeling to remember. And I always, if ever I'm giving a message to a team to begin a year, or if they're going out onto the floor, the ice, or whatever, I want it to be a positive one.
Yes.
I don't want the words, I don't want the words, any kind of negative words. Just all positive words.
And I think they're positive.
Going forward, I think we're all positive there.
And I think that they are I think Rob Thompson will send them off, Pat, with a real relaxed atmosphere.
He seems to be that kind of guy. I don't see him being the rah-rah Herb Brooks before they go and face the Soviets kind of speech. I think it's just going to be a simple speech if he gives one at all.
I wondered about that.
I mean, he's very relaxed and even keeled and dry. I don't think he's a rah-rah guy. I think he's going to let his players be the rah-rah guys, the Kyle Schwarbers and the Bryce Harpers.
Let them do the speech.
Yeah, I think he'll do the lineup. They'll do the speeches.
I would have done it last night. You're in
Okay.
Texas. You're in the hotel. Hey, guys, 7:30 meeting. Let's meet down in this ballroom real quick. And then, 7 o'clock, and we'll let you go for dinner, do what you want to do. That's when I would have been topper, and that's when I would have given the old, you talk it out, you talk the X's and O's and this and that and the other, and then you give it that last line. The last line of, like, it's kind of you're not going to get these guys to get off their chairs and start screaming and hollering and stuff. No. But just one of a positive thought. Here we go. The journey begins. Great journey last year. You didn't get to the finish line. Let's get there this year.
Connor, I love what Pat said, though. The idea of I'd rather let Schwarber do it.
Yeah, for sure.
I hope Harper's with them. I hope he's there with them.
I don't know. I don't know if he's traveling or not with them. I'm sure he'll be there for home games. I'd be surprised if he was traveling right now because he's probably doing rehab stuff. But yes, it should absolutely be the players over Rob Thompson. First of all, because I don't know if Rob Thompson could give a rah-rah speech if he had to. And that's like no knock. That's just he's got other qualities that come out more than that. And yeah, Schwarber's the guy that's going to be the fire behind this team.
I love it. Opening day today. We'll be out of PJ's in Doylestown. Will you? There is no trophy for winning knockout. By the way, I was asked, will Connor be bringing his trophy? Connor didn't win.
No,
he has the winning chain and sunglasses.
But he made it to the 7. Yeah. You made it to the final 7.
6.
I thought it was 7. I think 6 were left when you got.
No, we just said 5 were
top
left,
10.
Right?
No, you made it. 6 were left on the court when you left.
You're getting worse.
The
numbers are increasing. I don't know.
6 were left on the court when you left.
By the time that the show ends, it'll be top 20.
No, yeah. Connor was damn good.
I just went to a tunnel. I have no idea.
By the way, Heavy Chevy was really good too, and he had a really good night too for a quitter, and that is that's what surprised me most. Is that because he
was really good for a while and then he gave up.
I didn't peg him as a quitter before he came in here.
He got offered to do a better paying knockout, so he exited and left.
You mean one with like benefits? And stuff
with
like
a
that?
401k and a
I would
401k
say
match
I would continue
and healthcare.
Now, what I continue to say, Pat,
Bastard.
He's a selfish bastard.
Yeah,
that's what he is.
I told him, like, how dare you better your life?
I mean, seriously, honestly.
Think about us.
I don't care what he aspires to be.
No, I don't give a rat's ass about his career aspirations.
Who gives a damn?
I care about this show.
Chevy's filthy.
So he got me today.
Him.
Well, how'd he get me today?
He got me today, Chevy.
Oh, how'd he get? Oh, really?
So, behind the scenes here, every day when Chevy walks in, I hide and I have, some paper balls or a light little and I bombard him.
Just articulate that. I mean, seriously.
Yeah. So
you're how old again?
Yeah. That's what I do. So today, I'm looking out the window, waiting for his car to pull up, so I know where I'm going to hide and get him. And all of a sudden, I turn around and he's right there in my face and starts hitting me with stuff. Yeah,
good. See?
Yeah. So
that means he's getting sentimental.
Hitting you with balls in the face, huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to double my ball dosage tomorrow to get him.
I swear to you, Pat. If people just listen to this show be articulated, they'd be like, "What the hell's going on?"
Yeah, if they read a transcript of it, it'd be like in My Cousin Vinny when he's like, "He said I shot the clerk." He repeated it again. I shot the clerk.
I haven't watched that in a while.
I love that movie. And stick with me.
My gosh!
If I'm like doing work around the house or something, I just need something on. I'll put on My Cousin Vinny.
The Two Utes. What? The Two Utes.
I wore this ridiculous thing for you.
Hey, in Cooney's Corner, Bob wants to know what we see last night in the Sixers.
Now, let's see what's in Cooney's Corner.
Yeah, I wrote it out yesterday before the game. Win, lose, or draw. We got to look and see what we saw last night. Because wins and losses now, it looks like you're the 3rd seed. But I wanted them to win that game last night. I wanted them to pull it out. I wanted to get that winning feeling back in their minds. We talked about the rustiness. Harden shot 4 for 14. I can tell more when he's rusty, I think, when he's not taking a lot of shots. And last night,
6 for 28, by the way, over his last. I think it's the last 2 games.
Yeah, he wasn't beating guys off the dribble all that much. So he would go to do his stutter steps between the legs, and he kept losing the handle a little bit. And when you're trying to beat a guy off the dribble, you can't lose the handle a little bit. So he wasn't doing that. Then when he was getting his handle down a little bit better, it seemed to me he was either reluctant or unable to beat his guy all the way into the basket. He only did it once or twice. Well, you need that to come back. And whether that's the Achilles or whether it's rustiness, I don't know. But that's the thing you got to keep an eye on. James Harden has to be the guy that is the threat to either shoot it, drive to the basket, and, of course, throwing that pass to Joel Embiid off of the high pick and roll. He was rusty. I thought Embiid kind of, I don't want to say went through the motions last night, but he
looked lethargic to me, especially in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, a little bit. Harden comes out. It's amazing. James Harden comes out after, being hurt, all that stuff, and plays like 38 minutes last night. The guy just plays and plays and plays and plays. Maxey was okay. I thought they could have got him the ball a little bit more. Their bench was good.
Yes, it was.
And that's okay. When you get into playoffs sometimes with teams designing to take away as much of Embiid and Harden as they can and to keep an eye on Maxey as much as they can, that's what you're going to need. You're going to need that bench to step up. And they did it last night. So I thought that was a really good sign. Also, as rusty as Harden was, here's the effect he had on the game, though. The Sixers had 37 field goals. They had 26 assists. That's a really good number. And although Harden had 12, you still had other guys. The ball moves. And when you get into a game where the ball starts to move with a James Harden, it just kind of continues. That's a number that I love to keep an eye on with this team. I think they're playing very well when their assist numbers are up to their field goals. And
that's an interesting number to track. I would not even.
I always do that. Always look at how many assists they have per field goal, especially with this team the way they're.
Does that carry game to game though?
Is that
something like a trend that you?
When they're playing well, it does. Yeah, that 25 and above assists is a really good number. So last night, clean? No, not clean. Kind of, back and forth sloppiness, whatever it may be, but still held Dallas to 108 points. Got the win. Came back from a double-digit deficit. So okay. Good. Got it. It has to be better moving on. And I said I want to see this on all cylinders for at least a couple of games before they either shut it down or whatever they do going into the playoffs. But, okay, last night, okay, I give it a B-.
Yeah, I give it around a B-. They sleptwalked, but I never felt they were going to lose that game. And Ricky and I may have gone on to our Bet Parks app and bet the Sixers down 6 on the money line, Pat. Took the live line.
Great. Congratulations on your success.
When they were down 6. Well, I haven't had a ton lately, so that really was something that I needed. I'm still digging out of that Super Bowl hole. Really took it.
Yeah, when you can get Niang and Melton to go 9
Niang's
for 13,
fun.
I think. 9 for 13 last night from 3. Okay, there's the little extra bonus that you need to kick in the butt when your starters maybe are being taken away or are just a little rusty on their own.
I'm surprised that Rob Thompson didn't ask Mike from Delran to come in and say a few words. Mike, good morning. You're on The Fanatic. How are you, brother?
Good morning. What's up, guys?
What's up,
buddy?
Mike?
First thing real quick, screw you, Niners fans. You guys are a bunch of losers. I hope you all step on Legos. But if I'm Rob Thompson, I'm looking each one of those guys in the eyes before they go in the dugout, and I'm going to tell them, we should have won it all last year. Maybe this year we'll be lucky enough, or it'll be good enough. What did he say? What did that Niners guy say?
It was that
Maybe
hopefully.
we'll have a fair shot. Maybe this year we'll have a fair chance.
Yes.
Screw you, Niners, you losers. Go Birds.
I love it.
Man.
Hopefully they schedule the rematch so we have a fair.
What the hell does that even mean?
It's like they better not have us go to Philly without our starting quarterback. I guess again. It's ridiculous.
All right, we'll call you. Let us know when you want to play.
It's ridiculous, you big bunch of wimps. My gosh. All right, coming up, Pat did a little research, and it may take your thoughts of drafting a running back in the first round to the cleaners. We'll find out next. John Kincade Show on 97.5 The Fanatic. I know. Possible. They've got innovative tools for small business and remote workers and learners. You can explore more at your local Staples store. Visit staplesconnect.com. Flyers and the Senators tonight. Could that be 5 wins in a row tonight? We'll find out.
Senators have no goaltending and no defense.
God, they're bad. And
they
are.
can score, though.
And they look like they're going to be sold.
Yeah, they will be sold.
And it looks like they will maybe move to America.
Oh, I don't think that.
That sort of seems to be
There's no way that they butcher Canada again.
You don't think they butcher Ottawa?
No.
Really? You think they're going to expand then?
I think if there's an expansion team, it will be probably Houston.
I think Houston's a good city for it, a big size city for it.
And then it's up to either Quebec or let's do Atlanta for the 3rd time.
Could be. We'll find out on tonight if the Flyers can run that win streak.
Ottawa's a cute little city. I like Ottawa. You ever been there?
I didn't. I've never done Ottawa.
Yeah, it's cute.
Quebec, Montreal, Edmonton, Calgary. I really liked that West Coast swing just to see it, but I don't need to see it again. And then godforsaken Winnipeg.
Yeah, I have the Northwest does not appeal to me. Although people tell me Vancouver, Edmonton, Vancouver's beautiful,
amazing,
right?
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah, I'd like to go there. I'd like to go anywhere once at least. Yeah,
you don't want to go to Winnipeg. Avoid Winnipeg. That's one you can skip. Take that off the bucket list, Bob. Just
how long ago when you were there? Any chance it's changed?
Oh, sure. I mean, it absolutely could. I don't know how it could change because it's sort of.
When did you go?
Landlocked, working for the Flyers.
Well, they could have gotten a Target.
Era. They had a camp. They had a camp there.
Could have gotten a PJs.
They may have gotten a PJs. The PJs in Winnipeg could have been big. I didn't mind Calgary at all. And Edmonton is sort of a godforsaken place in and of itself, but it's still. They love their hockey, though, Patrick. They love their hockey.
Well, they don't have anything else. I mean, for a while, the Oilers were practicing in the Mall of Edmonton. Which was the largest mall in North America.
I've been in that mall.
Yeah, it's huge.
The food court of that mall is immense, Pat.
But now they play it. I think now they practice at Rexall. I believe
they have a beautiful thing. Did you have a Rexall drugstore as a kid, Bob?
Not that I remember.
What about you, Patty? You have a Rexall?
No.
Anywhere? We had a Rexall. We had 2 Rexall drugstores in suburban Atlanta, and they are drugstores that have breakfast spot in them, so you can go like a little diner.
Oh, nice.
So it's like sort of like you used to go to like a Woolworths or something. Pat, where the in the Manoa Shopping Center, you used to be able to go to the Woolworths and go have something to eat at the counter.
Oh, I remember that. I remember
sitting on the red stools, the big red stools.
I don't have that experience.
Yeah, they don't have that. They don't have that anymore. Hey, the 7 a.m. hour of the John Kincade Show is going to be brought to you by the all-new Bet Parks app. It's a sportsbook and casino in one sleek, easy-to-use app in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. When you think of domination, Jacob deGrom and the Phillies really does come to mind. And you end up with you hit deGrom on opening day. Now, I do not expect him, and reading some of the Texas stuff, I think he's on a leash today because he started throwing later in spring training. They had to sort of shut him down in the beginning of spring training, and then he got rolling late. That he could be on a pitch count today, and I wonder if the Phillies go into the game saying, is there any way we can make him? He throws strikes, though, and he throws first pitch strikes.
Yeah, but it has to come into your preparation or how you're going to approach him, and that every pitcher today's on a pitch count. It's just the way of baseball. First game of the season, nobody's going to go over 75 or 80. So deGrom being where he is and how long he's been around, I'm sure he's right around there too. So, yeah, what's your approach? You know, are you protecting a lot because he's such a good pitcher? Are you looking to foul balls off to get his pitch count up? You know, early on, almost taking a batting approach of, I'm going to bat like it's 2 strikes all the time. Something. But you have to have some sort of a plan when you go against a deGrom. And, you can't just go up there free swing and say, I hope I get something to hit. You got to have a plan against it.
I saw a thing on Baseball Tonight where they were talking about facing guys like Jacob deGrom. And one of the things they said with him is that start choking up on the very first pitch. Just start battling off try to get his pitch count up might be the only way you can potentially end up having success against him.
Yeah, it's a good plan. We'll see how it plays out. If he does get some strikeouts take pitches. You're not striking a lot of guys out on 3 pitches.
Correct.
So, if his strikeout total's up, it might suck early on, but if you're looking big picture, okay, he's striking a bunch of guys out. He's only going to last 5.
All right, in Pat's point of view, he wants to – I have a feeling we're going to get clubbed like baby seals on this one, all of us who were potentially thinking about Bijan Robinson, because Pat's sneaky like that.
Kind of.
Kind of?
This is Pat's point of view. Here's Pat.
Didn't know where you're going to go with this, Pat, but I was thinking that maybe you're going to crush our dreams and hopes.
Yeah, not yet.
Okay.
Because I'm not done with it.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm sorry.
Still doing it. So I'm going to look at further down the line in the show. I'm going to look at the last 20 years of running backs, see where they were drafted, and see the longevity of that player with the team.
First rounders, you mean?
Yeah, first rounders.
I got a sheet here if you need it.
No,
I went back to 10.
Yeah, I've got the information. I just have to go through the running backs and figure out how many seasons they were. So it's going through 20 years. So
what's the general feeling?
Not great. I've only found 2 running backs so far that lasted 10 seasons with the squad. Most of them are less than 4 or 5.
Can I say to you, though, that
it's not great?
I wouldn't care at all, because I want to make sure that while we have A.J. Brown, while we have Devontae Smith, while we have Dallas Goedert in his prime, while we have a young, ascending Jalen Hurts, I don't care what happens 10 years from now. I care about the next 3 while we've got all those guys under contract.
Yeah, I don't mind the big Pat, I go back and forth because Pat made such great points when I said I wanted Bijan Robinson, and he's talking about, well, I don't know, with that 10th pick, I want somebody that's going to be here 10 years. And I was thinking to myself, well, is the Lane Johnson, the Jason Kelce's, the Trey Thomases, those types of guy like that, are they anomalies? Or is that easier to get with this 10th pick? Or would you rather have that volcanic explosion of a Bijan Robinson for, yes, even though it may only be 4 or 5 years because you're on a salary where it's manageable. I go back and forth, but for this team in this particular time, I really think I'd go for the splash.
You go for volcanic?
I think I would.
I found $5 yesterday. A folded up $5 bill.
Jeez, man! All right.
In a pair of pants.
And you know what I was thinking of? No, it was on the ground. And I said to myself,
I'm missing fun.
That's money that it wasn't here.
Found money?
Look, it's found money. And I think the 10th pick in the draft, which I don't want to take Bijan Robinson at 10. But if you told me that I was trading back to 16, 15, 16, 17, and I drafted him, and I picked up an additional second-round pick or a third and a fourth, I am all in, totally bought in.
So...
Because it's found money. Sorry. It's a found pick.
Yeah, look, I get it. I guess I'll get the hard facts for you maybe tomorrow. But my issue is if you're not going to last 10 years, and if you're not even going to last 8 years, and you're at a position that now is a timeshare position, that to me is an issue. If you're only going to last 4 to 5 years with this squad, and you're not even going to be in a situation where you are like the main guy, because now teams don't really have one main guy, it's running back by committee, then I think it's a waste. It's a waste to take. I mean, especially at 10. I haven't even looked, like, running backs don't really go at 10, but I mean, the returns for so far that I've looked up of running backs that have gone at 10 have not been great.
Yeah, I'm not doing 10. No one could ever talk me into 10. But again,
and some of them have had good careers.
Going 10 to 15 gets you a second-round pick.
Look,
by
ideal.
The Jimmy Johnson charts, it gets you a second-round pick. I absolutely would do that in a second.
I'm sitting there at 10. 3 quarterbacks have gone, and there's a 4th on the board, and I know that there's a couple of teams behind me that want that. I'm the Eagles. I'm at 10. I'm thinking Bijan. Yes, ideally, I go back to 14. I pick up an extra, I don't know, second-round
pick.
Ideal. But I'm sitting there at 10. I'm trying all this, and it doesn't happen. I could see myself just going, what the hell? Grab him anyway. I could.
I want him to be the guy.
This time and place right now. And, Pat, your logic is so – and I got a list of running backs that went here in the top 10 over, like, the past 10 years.
Okay.
And yeah, Pat, you're right. There's not a lot. You're talking the Todd Gurley's, Zeke, Christian McCaffrey, C.J. Spiller, Leonard Fournette, Saquon Barkley, and Trent Richardson. Those are top 10 running back guys.
Okay,
not a lot lasted past that first contract.
And think of those guys. Like, if the Philadelphia Eagles right now drafted Christian McCaffrey, the player that Christian McCaffrey's been in his career, would you feel good about their chances to win a Super Bowl this year? Knowing what you know of Christian McCaffrey? Added to what we already have here? I damn well would.
Yeah, but I mean, he's been banged up.
He has been.
There's a reason why Carolina moved on from him.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's my issue is when you look at, like, Bob's looked at the last 10 years, and I started with 2000, the year 2000, because I wasn't going to judge 2020 to 2022. We don't really have a book on the guys. But that my issue is, like, 2000, like, some of these guys have had good careers, but you've got other guys that, like, yeah, well, they had good careers. They didn't do it with the team that drafted them because the team gave up on them. Marshawn Lynch is a prime example of that. He didn't last very long with Buffalo. I think he lasted 3 years, 4 years before they traded him to Seattle for a 4th-round pick. He became beast mode in Seattle.
Right.
So, yeah, it's great, but
why did he become beast mode in Seattle?
What do you mean? Like, why was
that offensive line in Seattle, they were maulers.
I mean, I don't know if it was just the system or what. I mean, he was good in Buffalo, but
he was good in Buffalo.
They had him in Buffalo. They had a running back by committee. In Seattle, they didn't. Like, he was the guy.
I mean, he became a mauler because that offensive line was burying people. They were road graders. Those teams won because of their defense and running game. I think the Eagles have that. I think the Eagles have that offensive line. And by the way, and all the skill talent that they've got around them.
Look, and I've said, like, you guys could run for 250 behind that offensive line. Like, they're great. I mean,
is that sort of is that's sort of ripping on us though, isn't it?
What do you mean?
250 for the season? I don't think I could. I raced my daughter last night when we got home from the car to the front door.
You did?
Yeah.
She took care of you, right?
She went to her car, got something out of her car, and then continued the race and still beat me.
Yeah, but you didn't have Jason Kelsey blocking for you.
But I had nobody in front of me either, and I still couldn't make it back.
All right, so maybe you rush for 200, but, like, I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure running backs could flourish, and I think Bijan could flourish. I just don't know. I'll get the hard numbers for you tomorrow, but I don't know about the value of this.
I think Bijan's going to be special.
So let me ask you this, Pat, because when I brought this up and you brought up your point, I've been thinking about it a lot, and I think I think about your point and it makes me go, you know what, maybe Pat's right on this.
Pat's getting in your head then, Bob.
Yeah, but have I gotten in your head? Have you started to think that, maybe you go that way or no? Now, look, I don't think the Eagles are going to take a running back at 10. I don't think they would do it. I'm just talking about I think it would be fun, and I might pull the trigger on it. Do you have any inclination, any thought that they might, Pat?
Well, to answer your original question, you live rent-free in my head, Bob. I think about you constantly.
Oh.
That's what best friends do. Not really, though, to your point. I think they're interested, but at 10, I think no. I think that they will trade back. They'll find someone to trade back with.
Right.
I don't think that there's a shot in hell that they draft a running back at 10, but we have to talk about it because they did host him for a visit, and they do have the 10th pick. So if they're looking at it like John does with found money, and they have pick 30 sitting there, it's understandable of why they would take him. Hey, he's not going to be available at pick 30. We weren't getting value at 10. All right, we'll do what you said, Bob. Screw it. We'll take him. Like, that's the guy we want. We'll take him.
If they are set on kind of getting him,
yes,
would you rather them trade back 10 or trade up 30?
Oh, I'd absolutely rather have them trade up 30.
Trade up 30.
But I'd have to know that.
Well, no, you're going to get more value at trading back at 10.
I'd have to have a good feeling, though. Well, it depends. If 3 quarterbacks went in the first 9 picks and somebody wants that 4th quarterback, remember, if someone's drafting and trying to get up to get a quarterback, you're probably going to get better value than you even expect. You may get a 2nd and like a 4th. I'm all in on doing something. Now, it's weird is that the same guy who told me about the 49ers thing said, John, what if I told you that the Eagles would want 2 first-round picks next year. And I'm like, do not tell me.
Want they would first to trade back at 10?
No, 30. He said if they found somebody who wanted that 30th pick enough and then they traded it for next year's.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And took a pick in next year. Would you be okay with that?
I mean, 2 first-round picks. Are you talking about?
So I mean, like you'd go
pick,
the 30th pick. Someone gives you their first-round pick next year.
Yeah, so they keep 10.
Yep.
Yeah,
they keep
that's
10.
A no-brainer. What are the odds that team that you just traded with is going to be the 30th, 31st, or 32nd best team in football?
But you don't get the help next year.
You don't. But with the way Howie Roseman's probably looking at it, look, I got to pay my quarterback, and this is an extra.
And it's probably going to be
that I don't have to pay a first-round pick. First-round picks are expensive, and even though it's capped, it's still money that you have to pay a first-round pick. So they're punting a little bit. I mean, they're kicking the can down the road. But when you don't know what you're going to pay your quarterback, it's not the dumbest idea. That if some team called up and said, "We'll give you our first-round pick next year for pick 30," no brainer. I would do that 10 out of 10 years.
And I responded with, "You think they would do it?" He goes, "What if the Eagles traded their first-round pick and like a 4th-round pick to somebody for their first-round pick next year?"
No brainer.
So you would definitely do it.
Yeah, the odds are in your favor for that for you improving the odds of that pick
because they're not going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. I mean, exactly the odds of that team, whoever it is, trading with you, going to the Super Bowl, or being the 3rd best team in football is probably slim to none. It's going to be really tough. So yeah, I'm just rolling that dice every time.
Here's the only thing is I'm looking at it as, and I keep it's harping on it, but it's the idea of I got 3 years of A.J. Brown, 3 years of Devontae Freeman. Of Devontae Smith. I got 2 more years of Dallas Goedert. I have Jalen Hurts just ascending into his prime. I don't want to waste these next couple of years.
Well, that's another thing. If you should do something like this, and look, we're all playing fantasy football here.
Yes.
If they should do something like this, you can basically say for the next couple of years, like you're saying, John, okay, offense is fine, defense, here we come. Drafting, trades, free agents, whatever it may be. Because of the amount of contracts that they have that guys are tied into, you're going to have all those guys that you said, oh, and now let's throw a really exciting running back in here.
Oh, I'm telling you.
Yeah, I don't know. It just intrigues me a lot.
I'm more into it than when you first brought it up.
Yeah, I keep talking myself more and more into it also.
He'd be such a huge hit here, too.
It'd be fun.
So Aaron Nola, I got a couple questions on Aaron Nola. Do you think he's the type to react well to a prove-it contract year? Gut instinct. After just seeing what happened last week to Reese Hoskins, who was in the exact same situation.
Wait, you're talking injury.
Reese Hoskins was heading into a contract year.
Right.
No new contract with the Phillies. Gets injured in a freak accident. And now is going to lose out on at least $15 to $20 million over what he would have made because he would have gotten a big extension, everything like that. Next year, he may be on a 1-year contract.
Right.
He could be on a. Do you think Aaron Nola is mentally the type of guy that'd be like, oh, yeah, I'm cool with rolling the dice here and not having a new contract? Phillies didn't give me a new contract.
First instinct is yes, because he's not very emotional. He doesn't appear to let outside forces get into him.
Right.
He's very staid, I would say. So I don't know if a contract thought would be dancing in his head, but he also is human. So of course he knows he's pitching for big money. If I had to bet, I would go on the side of him being clutch in a contract year.
What do you think with it, Pat? As far as Nola's mentality.
If I was a pitcher, I'd never do it. Because the pitching, I think, out of every position on the field, that is the one where guys get injured.
Break down all the time.
All the damn time. I mean, I'm sitting here holding my breath regarding the entire starting pitching rotation, holding up. And already it's starting to see cracks. You've got Andrew Painter, your prized top prospect you were banking on. Now he's dealing with arm injuries. Like, it's going to happen, and Nola hasn't really dealt with it much in his career. He dealt with it a little bit, and he actually had the same injury that Painter has now, and he rebounded, and he's fine. But that injury is still a tear in your labrum, and he never fully tore it. So I just feel like it's a ticking time bomb. So look, if I was a pitcher, I'd want job security. It's probably the one position where I would look to give up arbitration years and just sign a long-term deal to know I have it.
Then you got the money and
Dude,
you're content.
I would mentally, I'd be a mess heading into that year.
How do you think he'll handle it? You think he'll be all right?
Yeah, I mean, and this is no slight on him. I don't think that stuff kind of phases him. I don't think much phases him.
Yeah, that's the
seems
first thought that I
very-
had.
I don't know.
Stoic?
That's one way to put it. Yeah, he just
Comatose?
comatose. Yeah.
I contribute to you.
Like, I just don't think he gets really razzled by anything other than guys on base.
That's why it was my first thought, too. And that might be taken away this year about getting razzled with guys on base with the pitch
Because you don't
clock.
have the time to think about it.
All right, real quick now. We have 3 guys in the office today that are wearing Phillies jerseys. I want to know where you would put them 1, 2, 3 in the lineup. Okay? Because we have top 3 hitters in here today. We have Trey Turner, Kyle Schwarber, and Shane Victorino. Now, if you had those 3 guys and somebody said those have to be your top 3 hitters, where are you hitting them?
Victorino, Schwarber, Turner.
How about you, Pat?
Turner, Victorino, Schwarber.
What about you, Coach? Anything good, or do we just... No, never mind.
Hidden behind the runner and stuff like that, Pat? Or do you think that's just old school baseball? Because I'm not sure Shane's the bat control to be able to do all that, like hitting behind somebody. And
I mean, he hit behind Jimmy Rollins and was pretty damn successful doing it.
What did you say? Turner, Victorino, Schwarber? Pat?
I said Turner, Victorino, Schwarber.
Yeah, that's the one I
you
had
want
also.
too?
Yeah. That's pretty good, though.
I love Shane Victorino's game was fun to watch, man.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at it as if you're saying to me who has the better bat control in there, plus do you want, as long as Schwarber's getting up in the first inning, I guess that's the key.
Yeah. I think Victorino and Turner Victorino in that order. I think that's a fun little twosome there. I'm anxious to see how if Schwarber changes his batting approach as a 2-hole hitter when Trey Turner's on base.
He's not underappreciated, Shane Victorino, but I think he isn't talked about enough.
Well,
as far as
in terms of that, because
what he brought to that team and to that run.
Yeah, you've got a lot of homegrown guys that are thought of first because they're homegrown. And Shane,
he was pretty much homegrown,
in a way,
right?
was. Yeah, I mean, he was a AAA MVP, but he was just acquired differently. I mean, I look at him like homegrown because
him and Worth were both Rule 5, right?
No, Worth was signed.
Worth was he was.
He was signed.
Was that signed or traded?
No, he was signed. He
signed?
was a free agent from the Dodgers, and Charlie liked his bat, and eventually
there you
got
go.
in the lineup. But yeah, he probably is a little unsung of a hero, but that entire team, I mean, is just.
Oh my gosh!
I think of them fondly.
I bet you do. Hopefully, we'll be thinking of this group fondly.
Like
PJs today in Doylestown. Come on out and spend time with us. 4:00.
I'm thinking of going over, like when we're done work today and some meetings, whatever we have to do. I'm thinking of just heading straight over.
I am.
There's a 1:00 game on.
Oh,
I believe there's a Yankees game on at 1, whatever it was. So I can watch a game leading into the Phillies. I got no problem. What do you think, Coach? I'd be all right going to PJ's right after work today?
Yeah, Bob. Yeah.
Every second counts, Coach.
He thinks
now,
it is.
Bob. Just get up and go now.
He says go now if you can do that.
They're not open.
All right, coming up, let's just say the expectations for this team could be changing. John Kincade Show, 97.5 The Fanatic. There's something about it being March, though, that just still is unnerving to me. Like
You don't like opening days in March?
It just is. It's March, but hey, they don't have to worry about it. Every game will be played this weekend because they're playing in a dome that they can retract if they want.
Well, it's 73 and cloudy with chances of rain today in Arlington, Texas.
So they can close it up.
Yeah, they'll close it up.
There's not going to be any rain. Right. It's not going to be any problems. So I do like that, though, when there's a road series, when you know the games are absolutely going to be played because of the fact that they've got the retractable.
Yeah.
I would not want one here in Philadelphia.
No.
You wouldn't want it either, right?
I don't love baseball inside, and I told you before I had to cover a Arizona Diamondbacks Milwaukee Brewers series back in the day. I think it was 2009. And
was that Miller Park?
What's that?
Was that Miller Park?
Chase. I was out in Arizona.
Oh, Chase. I'm sorry, Chase.
Yeah, no. So, I'm going for a walk that day. It's like 95 degrees. It's Arizona weather. The game's at night. And as I'm walking past the stadium on my walk, I saw somebody, and he said, yeah, we're closing it for tonight. And I'm like, why? He goes, well, it's going to go up to 104 this afternoon. It gets hot in there. I said, yeah, but nighttime. He goes, dude, this is Phoenix. It doesn't get that much cooler at night.
Right.
I know the Phoenix weather, but I hated watching a baseball game inside. I just didn't like it.
I didn't like it.
So what you guys have known me for a couple months.
Yes.
What is my big issue with the scheduling of opening day?
Is that they schedule games in bad cities?
No, it's the fact that you have opening day and everybody gets jacked for it. And then you have a day off.
Well, because they
now,
want
coach,
rainouts.
Please.
Okay.
Don't make me hit the Greg Popovich drop. Now, Coach Camille, and it doesn't happen often, all right? It's like leap year. He just came up with a good point.
Yeah.
Coach, please.
Yeah.
I will pass it off to you.
The stadium there in Texas is domed, correct?
Yeah, well, it's retractable.
You can close it, right.
Yeah.
So why would you open the day Thursday, have the Friday off in case it rains on Thursday to have opening day Friday when you can close the roof?
Roasted.
No, well, that's just because of the fact that they do that around baseball. They always give you that day.
But you don't need to do it. They do.
No, you don't need to do it. In Texas, they don't need to
because the rain could come in other cities that don't have domes or retractable roofs. But that's not the way it is here. So why would they do that?
Because of the TV. I in fact read this in the Dallas paper because of the TV contract.
This is dumb.
It's because of the TV deal. They wanted this game on television. They wanted the Phillies on opening day as part of this whole, because they show the games 1 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 10 o'clock. So it was part of it is having
another game to choose from.
Is having the national. Well, they won the National League champions.
Also, this for the first time since 1968, every single team is playing on opening day.
Now you covered 1968 opening day. Which
I
game
was retired by then.
Which game did you go? Which game did you go to? Must have been
but I wonder if that has something to do with it. Also, they got every team out there to play today. Sometimes you'll get game. Like I was kind of surprised beginning of the week. I thought maybe there would be a game on Wednesday, just like like stuff. But I like it. I like that. I'll be in front of TV watching baseball all day. I can't wait. I don't know. I think the 1 o'clock game's the Yankees. I don't know. I just looked to see is there a 1 o'clock game on, and there is. So that
you just want to get to PJ's, have some of those great wings, and have a beer.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with that either.
Yeah,
no.
Is Pat driving you up?
We haven't talked about our driving arrangements yet. I might have young Jenna Cooney with me today at PJ's.
Oh, that's awesome.
I asked her to come with me.
I was going to ask Bob if he wanted to carpool, but never mind.
Jenna, the non-trash talker.
Yeah, I'll pick you up this time, Pat.
I think Jenna now, the silent assassin.
Yeah, she's fun. She had a good time last night. When we got home, she went and sat in our bed and talked to Donna about it. And then, when your kid does something, and Pat, you have it, even though Jack's only 4 or 5 and our daughters are obviously older. But it's so cool when they like to do something and they're telling somebody else about it, and you see the excitement and hear the excitement.
She's very calm kid.
Yeah, she's
on the court though. Like some people were playing frantic,
ice in her veins.
Like Connor plays frantic. And it worked for him last night.
Yeah.
He played with that aggressiveness. Like, it was weird because I think once Connor won for the Fanatic, as far as the last remaining standing member of the staff, I think he lost his concentration because he shouldn't have been knocked out. He only got knocked out because of his own I think he took his eye off the ball. He was like, okay, well, I already did what I came to do. I won. And then he sort of took his eye off the ball because he was really rebounding the basketball really, really well. Jenna's just a machine. Like, she's got her, like, sort of head down, and she's...
We were driving. I said, when was the last time you shot a basketball? And she said, when was the last time I was in knockout?
That's incredible.
I said, really?
It looked so much fun. I mean, it really was so much fun last night. It was great to see everybody.
I'll give Connor, like, if he kind of relaxed a little bit after...
He did. I could tell he
fun,
did.
I get it. Like, I think we've only had one staff member win knockout. And that was Mike Murgett in the first year. So shout out to Mike Murgett, one of our all-time MVPs here. But it's tough because, as Connor said, like, you get these CYO legends who come out of the woodwork and they just don't miss. They're automatic. And then you get the high school kid and the college kid.
Oh, man.
Same thing. He's like a CYO legend, MVP of St. Martha's team. And, like, they don't miss. So for a lot of us here at the Fanatic, like, we're having a knockout of our own of just, like, who can be the last guy standing because we know that we're going to have the ringers show up and just dominate.
Dylan got knocked out by Hunter Brody.
Yeah.
Hunter knocked out Andrew. I saw.
Hunter knocked out Andrew. Cousin Matt knocked out Jenna.
Oh, is that
Jenna
who it was?
Cooney.
Oh, yeah, it was him.
Cousin
yeah,
Matt did.
As I've told you many times on the air.
You think he's a rat.
That guy is a scumbag rat.
You think he's a scumbag rat.
My least favorite member of your family.
And he was wearing the Lululemons.
And I want to like him. And I did for a while, but
you didn't.
But now I don't.
When I got home, Donna said to me, she goes, so did you go out and play? Because she knows me.
Right.
Like, I'll say one thing and do another. I said, no, I'm telling you, I am officially retired. And I hate to say it, and it doesn't sound like anything. It's funny, but I can't shoot a basketball anymore.
Oh, yes, you could.
I'm telling you.
Bob, I watched the people last night. You absolutely could. I watched some of the people in that competition. I'd say the majority of people, Coach, am I exaggerating to think that the majority of people that advanced did it by doing a layup?
Yeah, you got to get your own rebound quickly and hitting your layup.
Yeah, but I don't think your shots would be that errant.
I'm telling you.
Really?
With this neck thing, something's wrong. Like, I've never had a feeling like this before. It's almost like, Pat, if you were going to take a slap shot and you're hitting it as well as you can, and all of a sudden it's just not going where you used to go.
Yeah, I don't do that.
Bob, you've seen that with your drives. You've seen that with your drives occasionally.
Somebody asked me about that last night.
Because golf's coming, right?
I don't know if my golf swings. I hope to God it's there. I hope it doesn't affect my golf swing. But it's just the weirdest thing that I don't feel any different. But something has been taken away from me.
Well, in match play competition,
weird
coming up, we'll play a little match play.
Me and Pat.
See how it works out.
Me and Pat against John and Connor.
We're playing with each other.
Yeah.
If he's on Team Cooney and Egan may not be able to be beaten.
Oh, dude, stop!
You guys are a tremendous pair.
We're
not on the golf course.
I mean, yeah,
you're fun.
We're fun, but you're gonna have fun with us. But
Pat's fun to golf with. If you get a chance
to do anything,
you know what I saw. Nothing against you guys.
You saw what?
But I was coming in for the Flyers game the other night, and I ran into a guy that was in the most fun foursome I've ever been in. Our buddy Vince Rizzuto.
Oh, yeah. Vince!
He was walking out of our building. And let me tell you, like, if you ever do one of the Philly sports trips, which we told you about, and they have a golf outing, make sure to do it and then request that you were in the foursome with Vince and Jimbo Slice and Julia, his sister. I mean, it was so much fun.
Aunt Jules is she's a little zany.
Oh, she's great.
She's great.
Yeah,
she's a little zany.
A lot of fun. And then hope to God that the Phillies have a playoff game going on.
Oh my gosh.
At that time.
Because that was the memory. I'm always going to have that memory of that game, of the Phillies run, that it started on that beautiful golf course at True North with the Philly Sports Trips, with the Maileys, with a bunch of people. We had such a great time. And you're wearing your True North today. By the way, great T-shirt.
Yeah, they are.
It's comfortable.
Comfy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
and it's another example of how good that company, how good Vince is, where he planned it that the Phillies would be in the playoffs while we were doing a golf outing. Like, he called up the Phillies and he made sure, hey, can you schedule
Can you play them?
And he put me with three guys that won the tournament, Pat.
Move on.
Yeah, a little. Hey, the Bet Parks Casino and Sportsbook app has odds, slots, bets, and games all coming together in perfect harmony right in your pocket. Download it now at betparks.com. We are, by the way, I was told May 11th think May 11th was the date I was given, by the way, from that same little insider.
May 11th for what?
Not May. Was it May 11th? Yes, May 11th is the target for the NFL schedule release. So that's the night we will find out.
I'll give you two dates, too.
What's that?
April 15th and April 17th.
Okay, April 15th and April 17th. I have no idea.
Saturday and a Monday.
Monday's tax day?
I'm hearing that maybe, just maybe, might be your opening home days for your Philadelphia 76ers playoff games.
I hope it's a Sunday.
Saturday and a Monday.
Oh, a Saturday and a Monday.
Yeah.
I hope it's the Saturday.
Yeah, either
You want to see that.
I love
the opening game.
Games,
and I love like the 3:30 start. Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah. Pending who they get. Yeah, whatever. But Saturday, Monday, good with it.
Yeah, I'm
good
fine
to go.
with that big time.
Yeah.
Oh, I would love that. Hey, if this spring, speaking of that team, if this spring doesn't go the way we want it to go with the Sixers, and this was a discussion that went on last night in our box at the Wells Fargo Center, which, by the way, was absolutely awesome. It was a great time, great hanging out with our clients and fun. And I was asked, if this spring doesn't go the way we expect, if they do not go past the second round, can you sign up for another year? Can you sign up for just rolling it back for another year? Because one of our listeners, one of our clients said he thinks he's not done, but he's done believing. And I said, but if you're done believing, then you're not going to have fun being a fan. He goes, there's nothing that could make me turn off the Sixers. But I'm done believing. If they don't get out of the second round this year, he said, you might as well blow it up because I'm never going to be able to be convinced again. The same talking points, the same stuff over and over, that just rolling it back thing. And I said, well, most likely they would move on from Doc. And he goes, Doc's down his list of issues. And I said, well, I sort of think it is too. But he's like, I can't do it anymore. I've done it enough. I've believed enough. I don't know as a fan. I don't think I can ever get to the point where I've believed enough. Because I can always look at last year's Phillies run. And in the last week of September, I had no idea whether they'd make it or not. I thought they would do it, but they were, putzing around, not getting anything done.
Now, when he says he's done with what?
He's done
Rooting
believing.
for the Sixers?
No. He said there's nothing that could make him turn his back on being a Sixers fan. But he's done believing in this group as assembled.
Have you started believing in this group?
He believes.
It's an honest question.
No, he
have
believes.
You started believing? What have they done to make you believe? What are you believing in? That they can win 50 in a season? Okay. I'm not.
Right, no.
What I'm saying is, you believe in what your non-belief. You can't say you're a non-believer and you're a believer at the same time. You're a non-believer because they haven't gotten out of the second round. You're a non-believer because they haven't gone anywhere in the playoffs. If they do it again, you're saying you're not going to believe anymore. They haven't given you reason to believe.
Yeah, but he believes this team is different. And that's how the whole conversation started. He goes, is this team really different? Because he heard us talking about it. And he said, last week when you and Bob were saying that is this team really different? I said, I do believe they're different. I feel that way, like they're different. But if they let me down again, I can understand the frustration. I said, but you can't stop believing in your team. Like, if I didn't believe the Phillies could go to the playoffs, opening day would still be fun to watch.
Yeah.
But when there's a season with expectations, when you've got a good team, if I believed that, it's all going to fall short, it would take away from the whole season. I would find myself less bought in. I can't be that way.
Yeah, I don't.
I have to dream big.
Yeah, that's why opening day is so good because you have expectations, you have hopes. Even if your team isn't built, it seems like to go to a playoff.
Right.
Well, everybody has the same record today, and that's the goodness of it. I don't carry the disappointment of a season into the next season. I don't.
Even after all the compounding interest of this one, the way that it keeps happening over and over again as a fan.
Yeah, I think the focus, and maybe this is what he meant when he said, whoever it was that said it to you.
You'll see him today at PJ's in Doylestown.
Okay, we'll probably carry this on too because it's a good conversation. I think the focus goes to where? He thinks
Doc will be the scapegoat and that they will just run it back next year and say, James's Achilles was feeling bad. And Joel was, he worked so hard, he was a little tired down the stretch. And by the way, I can't find another NBA team where they're talking about their leader being tired, where he's saying, I'm tired at the end of the season.
Well,
and
Doncic
Joel
came out and said it himself about himself the other day.
He's tired.
And tired.
And he's disinterested.
I think should something like that happen, that you're disappointed after a run or whatever, 80% wise goes to Joel Embiid. I think what do you think?
That. What are you talking about? Like
it's
lame?
It's like that scene in the movie of The Natural where he strikes out. What's he called? The Whopper or whatever, Pat?
The
Whammer.
The Whammer.
And the girl's focus is on the Whammer, like, oh, here he comes. And then he strikes him out on 3 pitches, and it's a great scene. They put the camera solely on Barbara Hershey, and she slowly turns, and you see her focus go directly to Robert Redford. And it's like a change in scenery in that movie, and it's a big part of the movie. I do think that if something like this happens, you mentioned Doc Rivers and others. And
I think he'll be the scapegoat.
I'm not talking scapegoat. I'm saying vision goes, whoop, right to Joel Embiid, and all the questions will start surrounding him, I believe.
But you don't think they would move on from Joel Embiid,
I'm saying what the fans' reaction is.
Oh, the fan reaction. Okay, yeah.
I think the fans' focus will then go to Embiid more of the, well, can they win with him? Or what, what do you do?
I agree with you,
So you do believe that same thing, Pat?
I think we build you up and then we bring you down.
I tell you, I'm going to be sick to my stomach.
I don't think it'll be a large contingent of the fan base, but I think it'll be a vocal minority, but that vocal minority will be loud. And I think it'll start to creep its way up, and yeah, I don't even think it'll be like a disrespectful thing to Embiid. I just think it'll be a question of, it'll start off with a question of, can you win with them?
Okay, well, you see, the thing is, there's a difference. If that's the discussion,
well, there will be people. But I guess my point is, there will be people that will be disrespectful.
If Embiid's getting the blame, I'm not going to be here for it. I mean, I'll be here, but I'm not going to be here for it.
No, I'll take off that.
If somebody says, I question whether now would be a good time to think about trying something different, I could at least have open ears.
Yeah, like our buddy Vince Pellegrini.
I saw Vince last night. We were the only two people in the parking lot.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's a guy who currently is questioning whether it's smart to build around Embiid,
and he has been, by the way, for 2 years.
But he has, but he is a guy that does it respectfully and says, "Look, this guy's great. I just question building around a center," and I get that. But it's kind of like the process debate. You had people like Devon Givens who said, "I didn't like it, but I understood it," and then you had people that were so for it and so against. There wasn't a lot of gray area, and I fear that if they don't get out of the second round, there won't be a lot of gray area with the Joel Embiid debate. There won't be a lot of people that say, look, I'm acknowledging this guy is incredible, but it'll be more of, let's focus on all the negatives. He's not healthy. He sits out back-to-back. He mopes.
If I see bad body language again in the postseason like I did last year, if I see the hound dog look and trudging, looking at the ground as he's walking into the building, I think that's going to suck.
But when you combine the two, Pat, that's why I say majority of focus will go to him. Focus, man, what more can this guy do? The focus is on him. Well, whether people are talking about how do you surround Embiid, and the focus on, man, this team can't win with him or hasn't won with him. I think the majority of the focus, no matter what happens, should it not be a championship or people aren't satisfied where they went, I think majority focus will go to Embiid.
I said to you earlier today, Bob, Julius Randle last night turns his ankle. It looked bad in the highlight. All I saw was highlights. I didn't see the game. And they are going to do reportedly x-rays, or he was having some sort of a follow-up on it. If Julius Randle was injured, would you rather be the 4 seed and take on the Knicks and really give Embiid and Harden rest?
No.
And then you'd face Milwaukee in the second round?
No.
You would not even consider
I can't play games like that. I just can't.
Because this is a franchise that has said we don't mind just losing on purpose. They're the franchise. They are the poster child in professional sports for, we don't care about losing on purpose. We think we have a smarter plan. If you saw the Knicks without Julius Randle, 5-game series, but Joel Embiid dominates the Knicks anyway.
Yeah, he dominates everybody.
Maybe 5?
Yeah, maybe. But I'm not playing that game.
You're not playing it.
No, I'm not jockeying for position now and doing this. And, all right, let's just rest everybody because we'd rather drop down a seat. No, just play the games. Let's go.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see the postseason finally come around. Just got another week or so to get by. And again, thanks to the Sixers last night for it. Thanks to the it was a great time. The Sixers crew did a really nice job helping us out.
Yeah, they're good down
They
there.
always do.
And yeah, they do. Really,
It
was a lot of fun.
Company and the crew down there. Oh, they're great.
Really nice. It was a great time.
Sassador.
We even saw Matt Cord. Matt Cord even came by and said hello to us, like he graced us with the little.
Matt's
hello.
a couple years there. Matt was emceeing it for us
Why doesn't Matt play? People would love to play with Matt.
because he doesn't want to win.
By the way, next year, Kate Scott will be in. She could not be in this year.
I just want Bob.
She already had Kate wants in.
I want Bob in.
So
Retired.
he's retired. He's like Tom Brady.
Come out of retirement, bud.
He's like Tom Brady.
People are asking for it. People are talking.
Nobody
far and
really
wide.
is asking for it.
I didn't
at
hear
all.
one person. People were glad to see Bob last night. I don't think anyone was asking for it.
yeah.
From Eagle View to
Oh yes, a stone's throw from Exton.
from Exton to Eagle View. People are talking about it far and wide. Why isn't Bob Cooney playing?
All right, we talk about rules next, and Ricky Bowe's going to join us coming up as it's Major League Baseball opening day. John Kincade Show on 97.5 The Fanatic. And with summer coming, since baseball's starting, you know it's going to get hot, and we're all waiting for it. But when it gets hot,
Of the Sixers, Flyers, Union, and the best Eagles talk in Philadelphia. 97.5 The Fanatic. Now, back to the John Kincade Show on 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
Thanks so much for jumping in with the John Kincade Show on opening day. It is opening day of 2023. And your National League champs will be taking on the Texas Rangers a little bit later on today. A very bizarre pregame time on NBC Sports Philadelphia, 2:30 for a 4 o'clock start. Ricky Batalico's in studio with us, Bob. Get fired up about it.
Don't use all of your stuff here because you have an hour and a half to kill before the game.
It's not an hour and a half. We're only doing 2:30 to 3.
You only lose.
Oh.
And it will be myself, Ben, Ruben, Michael,
in a half
and
Who
John
else?
Clark from
In a half hour.
Arlington. Yeah,
That's unbelievable. That's a loaded up pregame show.
It's our intro. I mean, it's like an intro. Hey, we're back type thing.
But how do you do how do you tell, hey, like,
How do you
this
balance it? That's what
that's
Sean
incredible.
Kane does.
Well, Sean's
outstanding.
Especially.
That's Amy Fiddle's husband, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. That's
I mean,
how it's known.
do you think he's forever known as that? He has no identity of his own anymore?
He does. He does. You'd be
He's the
surprised in that place how
he's
well respected he is.
I have heard he's an orchestrator aficionado.
He's unbelievable at his job.
That is fantastic. Hi, Ricky. We're glad to have you back on Thursdays with us.
Yes. Good morning.
You're coming in early today, and I appreciate that.
For you. I'm
Thank you,
filling
man.
in, coming in from the bullpen. Gonna
Thank you,
take
man.
over your seat in a little while.
Thank you, man. Yeah, we have a big day today, a little big day. So, and then we'll go the happy hour a little bit later on. I apprete you coming in and doing
why don't
that.
you join us at happy hour? You can't. You got
He'll be. He has to work.
Considering there's a game going on.
Yeah, it's gonna be. That's gonna be a little bit hard. We'll be thinking of you though, Rick, while we're having the
happy
great
hour?
wings in
Oh, yeah.
Doylestown and everything like that.
Oh,
We'll be
yeah.
thinking of you, and a cold beverage or two.
One or two.
We'll be thinking.
I'll
of
have one
I had
for
a
you.
couple last night.
Yeah, we did. It was a great night last night, wasn't it?
It was
That was fun.
good people.
A lot of good
people.
We have good listeners.
I wasn't there very long for the knockout.
Yeah. Now tell us about your knockout experience.
I shot once. The ball literally bounded almost
It
to
was
the
weird.
sideline.
Yours went.
Yeah,
yours-
everybody else's I'm watching bounce straight down. Mine hits the rim, boom. I'm like, what the hell's going on here?
Yeah, Ricky's went absolutely like a
And Hunter made the shot, so
Right.
I was fine with it.
Hunter was
I
going
got to go home and get some sleep.
Hunter crushed it. Hunter had he had a shooting touch that he didn't have last year. He had it this year.
I felt he said he didn't shoot at all. I'm calling.
You think he practiced?
Yeah.
Because he looked like he practiced.
Yeah. His wife got knocked out right away though. She was supposed to be the quote unquote unsung hero.
Yeah, she got knocked out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think she got knocked out like first. Was
It
it
was first round because it was right behind me.
Which I think was crappy of somebody knocking around.
Yeah.
Some people don't
And-
play games in this.
And your boy Jamie, you know what? I'm sorry. Even if their kids in there, you got to knock them out immediately.
yes, you got to get out of there.
Jamie should have been kicked out for fixing the game.
He was fixing it. I think Jamie
Don't
was
worry, my
fixing
daughter
it.
kicked his ass out.
Yeah,
I
I heard. By the way, I actually heard it on the radio on the way home.
Oh, did you really?
Jamie got knocked out.
Yeah, but
funny.
I mean, not my sport. I could play it as a team sport. I'm not very good foul shooter, but you know what? Anybody want to put $500 down and play a round of golf?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm in. In this station, I will take everybody down one by one.
Oh yeah, you would.
One by one.
Now the thing is though, match. I love it. Bob brought up match play the other day because they had match play on the golf
See,
last weekend.
You
I
don't want to go at me in match play.
The thing is though, if it was match play and it was handicapped, I think it'd be better.
Wait a minute. Was the knockout handicapped?
No, knockout's not handicapped.
Well, then I don't want
Wait
to
a minute, golf is handicapped. It's part of the game.
No, it's not.
What do you mean?
Professionals don't go. What? It's part of the
Professionals. I mean, come on. They're professionals. We're not
game.
professionals.
The point is, put your money up, or everybody just shut
Wait a
up.
minute, that's ridiculous.
I came in with a thing today that I thought you were going to start with me with the knockout for getting knocked out immediately.
Why? I think you did.
Which it didn't
your
bother
ball,
me at all.
Your ball took a really, really odd turn.
I had to fire it from the bench.
What happened? You were on the sideline
Yeah,
when
I
you
had to
shot.
fire it from the bench.
I was a little surprised. Ricky did come in. He opens the door. We're all gathered out there, messing around. And Ricky's like, any one of you guys, put up $500, I'll beat you in golf. And I'm like, whoa, where's this? What's going on here?
I didn't even
Because I could feel
And he
it.
said, I know Kincaid's going to bust on me.
No,
about
I
last
didn't
night.
do
Well,
that.
I thought you
did not.
definitely would have come in hot, so I came in hotter.
No, I didn't think that at all. In fact, I don't think anybody around here had a bad showing.
What happened to Egan? Why didn't he show?
Egan had a family engagement.
Prior engagement.
Yeah, I
that's
had to watch my kid. But
I like the fact that he's
I
a
missed
dad.
him last night.
That he's a dad first, but
Well,
people missed him.
I also will add a guy who's 5'3" probably doesn't deserve to be on a professional basketball court. Like there are height restrictions.
No, there were little kids there. You
Yeah,
were
you
fit
were
right
good.
in.
They were all bigger than me.
No, I think you could have, Pat. I think you could have posted up on him.
Oh, okay.
I really like. You would have been
quite a few
I have
of them.
regrets.
You were throwing bows. There was the one high school kid that was like, one high school kid won it. And then there was a high school kid who was really, really good, who I thought was going to get Connor out. And he's a youngster, and he was excellent. The game's all about rebounding, because I think around 70% of the people that advanced on a rebound.
I mean, to me, yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Because that was why I was.
And that's part of it, though. That's part of the game.
My goodness, how many people are on that freaking court?
There was a lot, wasn't there? The line wrapped from one basket to the other and all the way back around.
You know what's weird was, though? After the first round or the thing, coach, all of a sudden it got fast. Like, it went from 0 to 60 after everybody got through a couple times. Then it all of a sudden was people were getting knocked out.
If I were to get through, I would take my time shooting my foul shot.
Yeah, because when you rush it, you get those long rebounds like you got.
Yeah.
If you can get arc on it and get a good shot up, you're going to be able to get your rebound right there if you miss. So
I was watching the youngsters, though, that were moving up on the foul line and waiting for the person. The youngsters were playing the game the right way. They had the ball in their hands, ready to go. First person takes their foul shot, and they were shooting right afterwards to try to knock them out in case that ball doesn't go in.
Yeah.
They were playing it the right way, very aggressive. You got to play it aggressive.
When we were little and we used to play this, we would kill each other. Literally deck each other on the court, knock each other's ball, like because we're on a playground doing it.
Yeah,
we hit that ball, make it go 100 yards away.
We had a rule you couldn't touch the ball, but there was definitely some bumping and shoving and stuff
we
going on.
would touch the ball with the other ball.
Oh, well, that's different.
Like knock it out of the cylinder.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Your analysis of the champion from 97.5 The Fanatic this year, Connor Thomas.
Connor's all right.
And his performance. He was good. He was aggressive.
You know what? His whole shtick, it's getting old now. He obviously is somewhat of an athlete.
Yes.
I wouldn't call him a baseball or a softball player because walking does nothing for me. And I'm sorry. I think that's brought him down.
See, it brings it down a notch.
The softball thing brings him down a couple pegs.
Pat, I think the walks in softball sort of.
Well, look, we had his teammates in. They defended the actions as good teammates should.
They did.
I can sit here and throw stones, but then again, I'm not playing softball.
And
I wasn't
think
invited on it.
I got to tell you, I thought Connor had the best approach last night of anybody from the Fanatic on the knockout.
What is the approach?
He was extremely aggressive to his rebounding. He didn't hesitate at all. Now he's gung ho guy, and I think he did a great job. I think
I guess it's all about having a desire to want to win that.
Chevy was good. Chevy was right there, and I also admire Connor because Chevy went behind Connor in the line. They went head to head. Connor didn't say, "Let me find a 12-year-old that's not going to be able to knock me out." He took one of the hardest players in the entire line, Heavy Chevy, and stood right in front of him.
That's what I should have done.
You think you should have
behind
done
the
that?
little kid and taking him.
Hi, I'm Ricky Batalico. When you weren't born, I pitched for the Phillies.
Yeah,
the kid would have been excited to meet you. See, knock him around a little bit. All right, I asked a question earlier about Aaron Nola. After what he saw last week happen to Rhys Hoskins, do you think in any way Aaron Nola's affected mentally by the fact that this contract didn't get done? Because, as Pat pointed out earlier, pitchers are the ones that break down at a moment's notice. And his money, his bag, as they say, is not secured.
Not yet. No, it's not. But think about this, though. He's already made $60 million in his career.
I got you.
You see what I mean? In my eyes, I think he's pretty comfortable with where he is because of that. And, I mean, one way or the other, I would Let me put it this way. If I was in his shoes, I probably would have tried to get something done because I wasn't about making the top dollar.
I thought you would say the opposite. I thought you were going to say you would bet on yourself.
No, that's not really betting. That's
Well, is it kind of him betting on himself this year, though, because nothing got done? At some point, he had to say, all right, forget it. Let's wait until the end of the year.
Injuries do lurk.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially in baseball, especially with pitchers. I would have tried to get something done where both sides would have been happy.
Right. You think he's negligent in not getting it done?
You know what? It's like I said, it's hard to say because of the money he's already made. He's probably pretty happy with his life right now. And he's still making $17 million this year?
$15 million, I believe 15. It is. I mean, that is a bargain.
Right. For him, that's $10 million shy. Or, at least probably about $8 million shy.
All the more reason why I would take the money now. Why would I would take the money and say, I love
5 years, $100 million right now without, if he really wanted to.
Yeah,
sure, he could just say, hey, guys, let's just do $100 million. He wants $200 million.
Exactly, he does. And he's not worth $200 million.
I don't think so. I don't think anybody's worth that.
I could tell you that there are people like Jacob deGrom and those that could make the case that they do. He is
Jacob
not
deGrom
of that
is a
caliber.
5-inning pitcher.
I understand.
You agree with that? You guys agree with that?
Yes.
So why is he worth so much?
Because it's today's baseball.
Okay, so you're going to tell me, I know Justin Verlander's coming off of a monster, probably his best season
I wouldn't pay him at that age.
$40 million?
The age, though, I wouldn't pay him.
$40 million.
As you said before, nobody's worth it. I don't care if you're a quarterback in the NFL. That's crazy money.
I would have had to do my career 5 times to make that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's incredible.
5 times. I would have had to do 11-year career.
So Nola's only 29 years old. He's got 78. His career record, 78 and 62. And I bring this up, Ricky, because it goes back to like your playing days. He's got 78 wins in 7 years of work.
That's incredible.
6, 7,
he's not
8
worth
years of work. He doesn't even average 10 wins a year.
Right.
No. Well,
he's not worth. He thinks he's worth 200.
And I got to tell you, he would be the one guy. He would be one of the guys that you would judge on wins and losses around here. The reason why I say that is you're seeing 6, 7 innings from him. So that's a guy that you would judge on the wins and losses.
Yeah, but the thing is
if
his team doesn't score, he loses. I never look at one-loss record for a pitcher. I look at ERA. I'll give me ERA every time.
By the way, one of those seasons was shortened.
And I love his...
Yeah, he had a shortened rookie year, and he had another shortened season.
Yeah.
So it's probably like 6 years of work plus.
So he's average about 12 a year?
Yeah, I mean, he's gone 12, 17, 12, and 11. But the other years, it was, 6s, 5, and 9.
I don't know.
And I argued with Jamie forever, and still will, that the 17 was an anomaly. He had the 1 year that he
had a monster year.
But last year... I saw something out of him down the stretch. The clinching game in Houston, the first starting, the dominant start in Game 3 against the Braves. I saw things about him in that Saturday night in St. Louis.
There are 2 guys on this team that I think are mainstays now, and both starting pitchers. I'm talking about.
Okay,
pitchers, that if you watch them, they look exactly the same every game, and that's Wheeler and Nola.
That you can.
That's why they're so good. Yeah, that's why they're so good. And even when Nola gets his butt ripped, he's kind of just, okay, I'll get him next time type thing. He's got the mentality for it.
So John asked this.
If I got ripped around, I'm fuming.
Yeah.
I'm fuming.
Now, there's both sides of that ball, too, right? You're fuming. You probably get 3 more miles an hour faster on your fastball. You might play better with that adrenaline going. He's just a steady Eddie guy that really doesn't seem to
change
do that.
anything.
What does that? As a former player, did you like to see the volatile guy, or did you?
I like fire.
You like emotion.
I like the fire. I like the gasoline on the fire. It's just the way I always was.
Yeah.
In every sport I played.
Okay, do you think you're your best as a competitor or as a worker or as anybody? Is anybody at their best, though, when they're all fired up and sort of – because I don't believe we are. I believe it affects you.
I think it helped me when I pitched.
Really?
When I pitched. Because I had I always had a chip on my shoulder because I was never drafted, so I was always ticked off about that. So that never really left. But I didn't like being embarrassed. So if you hit a home run off me, that embarrassed me. I didn't like that. I'm going to come back at you harder. That's just the way I was. But I did see it backfire on guys where they get mad and they can't throw a strike. They walk 3 in a row. All of a sudden, they lay one over the plate, and now it's a 4-run inning.
Yeah, you get out of your element. And it's the greatness of sports. It's a team game, but the individuals, how they react, how it goes on, and there's no more individual in a team sport than a pitcher.
No, it's
you're on an island.
Yeah,
it's a lonely spot out there when things aren't going well. When things are going well, it's easy, but when things aren't going well, you could almost feel the spotlights going
on the back of your neck.
Right all over you. And it's weird. It's a weird feeling.
Yesterday morning, we made our predictions for the season. Pat said third place, 87 wins. Bob and Connor said second place, 91 wins. I said second place, 92 wins.
I'm saying second place, 93 wins. And the reason why I'm going there, you have to think about this for a second. The division doesn't mean as much anymore. It's how you play outside your division is what's going to
honestly
clinch everything now. You only have 12 games against these guys, against your division opponents.
13,
excuse me.
13 because that oddity.
You better make the most of them.
Right.
You could bury yourself or bury another team immediately.
That's where the Bryce Harper return comes into play because Major League Baseball had to look at the Harper injury when they scheduled the Phillies setup because they don't play the Braves or the Mets until May the 20th.
Yeah, but I thought the schedules were made like 2 years in advance.
I don't believe it. Because because last year this is the first year they've ever done this schedule.
Right.
And they didn't know about it till last year.
I guess you're right. They just did it mid-season.
So maybe other years that's the case.
Yeah. I mean, do you guys feel that way? Because think about this. If they play like they did against the Mets last year, that's going to be what it's 3 and 9 or 3 and 10.
Right.
That's -7. You put yourself 7 games behind the Mets right like that.
Can't do it.
Can't do it. You need to be 500 or better against every team.
Yeah. So your prediction of 93 and second, who's first? Are you Braves or Mets?
I think I'm Braves. I think the Mets are in third. I think the Mets are really going to be hurting a little bit. I don't know about you guys, but I saw Scherzer late last year. He looked like he was tiring quickly.
Well, he did. I mean, he wet the bed in the postseason.
Yeah. And
he got trounced in that critical game.
I thought Verlander lost a little something September on last year.
He was.
He was a little flat.
I don't like their rotation.
He was pedestrian in the World Series.
Yeah, and if he's that during the season, look, he's not going to have a 1-something ERA again. There's no way.
How many games? Top 2 starters for the Mets. How many games do they miss? How many starts do they miss this year?
I'm going to say combined.
Yeah.
So we'll just start it at 30. That they both get 30.
Right.
I'll put them both in the 22 range. So 8 and 8, 16 starts.
I set the injured list stints for those two.
Yeah.
I set it the over under at 2.5.
Oh, that's it. Although you don't know how long that injured list is.
Correct. 2.5.
Good.
2.5. Exactly. I mean, it makes it a difficult.
I'd be shocked if both of them made it through the season.
Absolutely shocked. I much more prefer. I honestly, it's a shame. If Ranger Suarez is healthy, I'd rather go into the season with what the Phillies are trotting out as a
That's a little
rotation.
concerning to me.
I like Taijuan Walker, but I think they're lying to us. I think they're lying to us about Ranger.
Oh yeah, we haven't heard anything.
They're playing games.
When was the last time you heard anything?
They're playing absolute games.
The last time he threw was about a week and a half ago.
Yeah,
right?
there's a quote yesterday that says he's going to miss the first 2 weeks of the season. What that said to me was, okay, that means he's going to start throwing soon. You know, people look. I was like, if that's true, then you have to start amping him up to be ready for 2 weeks into the season, right? It's not like in baseball you can come back and say,
he's not,
okay, 2 weeks is up, go out and pitch me 5 innings.
He's going to miss the first 2 weeks. What is he going to start throwing bullpens?
That's what I said. That's what I said.
That's what Bob was pointing out. He can't do that.
So
I would
if we
think
don't
he
hear
has
him
to be off the mound
soon,
today.
Yeah, exactly. So if he doesn't start throwing soon, that 2 weeks is crap.
I think
you got to throw that away.
I think it's a scam. There's something. I think they're worried about something wrong, and they don't want to. Or they're waiting to see, and they just can't figure it out.
The waiting to see is getting old, though.
Oh, I agree with you.
I mean, we hear this. By the way.
All these teams, by the way.
How quiet has this – this is starting up now in baseball, where the injuries, they just try to keep them quiet now. Why?
I never understood it in any sport.
The lower body or the up. I don't need that. Just let us know what's going on.
Injuries is a part of sport. It's not embarrassing. It's not damaging to your organization or anything like that. It's an injury.
Yeah. Nothing you
That's
can
it.
do about it.
Yeah.
Could it be the influx of gambling? You ever think of that?
No, I don't think. Yes, I know what you're saying, but
Because right now, if you knew how about this? If the Phillies announced before opening day that Ranger Suarez was going to be shut down and haven't made, it would greatly affect.
So you think Parks is calling them and saying?
I think that I think Major League Baseball is now in the
Phillies.
Wait a minute. I think Major League Baseball is now in the gambling business. They are. They're in bed with gambling. So is the NFL.
Yeah.
So I mean, to me, if you were to announce that Ranger Suarez is out for the year, it would affect everybody betting on the preseason. Loss totals.
I see where you're going with that.
I'm suspicious of everything, though.
I know. I think that's a little far because I think Ranger's not going to pitch for a while. I mean, but 2 weeks, man, wow. Tax day, we'll see him.
I got a strange one for you here.
Yeah.
The as a broadcaster, and Bob, you've seen this in the newspaper industry. The Los Angeles Angels are not sending their broadcasters on the road.
Yeah,
Pat, did you see this?
radio.
Yeah, radio.
Did not see it.
Pat, you were a part of this, though, during the pandemic.
Yeah, with NHL.
As far as broadcasting, the Angels are going to have their broadcasters do games, their radio broadcasters not go on road trips.
I figured this would be kind of a trend, actually.
So did you think it would stick more?
When it happened, and the Devils kind of started it before the pandemic. But I mean, with the way that we all know how business works. Oh, I can save $1? Well, the product's not, you can't really see that much of a drop off, but I mean, there's things that you miss.
I think
so they're going to be sitting in the booth with a bat and a piece of wood, and then when the guy hits the ball, they're going to go.
Like Bull Durham.
Yeah, exactly.
No, they have the
swing and a miss. Oops,
the TV.
No, he tipped it.
What happens is the TV. What do they call them, Pat? Not the boom mic? There's a mic that is set up.
The FX.
So the FX mic is going to still give them that, but they're sitting in a studio and they're not
It's
traveling.
brutal. That is brutal. I mean, I've had to do games like back as far as when Roy Halladay was on the injured list and had to pitch in Clearwater. Do you guys remember this? And me and Jim Jackson had to do the game.
Did you really?
Yeah.
But you guys were joking
from
about
here,
it, right? I mean, you guys were.
No,
you pretended?
It was from here, and we had the whole thing on air.
I know,
but it was from here.
JP Delacamera, who does some of the Union games and World Cup and everything, he had to do matches in the Olympics or World Cup sitting in a studio in Bristol,
Isn't
Connecticut.
That brutal.
That's
you don't
terrible.
get a feel.
I mean, it's terrible.
My thing is, how could that announcer get the feel of the game or get the feel of the atmosphere?
It's unbelievable.
You can't.
Hey, it's opening day. The guys are going to have plenty more coming up as the Phillies are in Texas. John Kincade Show here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Cat's away. Mice will play. Bob Cooney here on the John Kincade Show. We got Ricky Vitalico, Pat Egan. We got the coach, Eric Camille.
You know what we're doing, Bobby?
No.
So who just left?
John Kincade.
Let's do wins and losses.
Yes, 162. Here
Breaking
we go.
it down. All right, Texas Rangers, game 1. What do you got?
Yeah, we could do that.
We're going to go through the whole thing?
Oh, the whole
Let's
damn
do it.
schedule. Wins and losses. That's what our listeners want. That's what they're clamoring for.
It's what they need. You know what else you need? New Jersey Transit. The New Jersey Transit Police Department reminds you that we all need to work together to keep our transit system safe. Report suspicious activity to 888-TIPS-NJT or text your report on NJTPD. All right, Ricky, opening day. How pumped are you?
I'm ready to go. I will tell you this much. 2 days ago, I was not. I had no, I'm thinking to myself, wow, opening day's right around the corner. Why don't I have that feeling? Came in yesterday to the best show ever, and then that feeling was there. That feeling in your gut, you almost have those butterflies in your gut, ready to go. Game time.
So we as fans, I think you get more pumped up on a season that your team's expected to do well.
You should,
right?
But I've noticed something in Philadelphia. This city likes being an underdog now. Hoskins went down, and people are fired up now. Not fired up for him getting hurt, but now we're underdogs. It gave us a reason to be the team that has to come up from beyond.
That's different.
I love a story here.
Yeah, I think they're so excited, and some guys have been putting this down a little bit. I think the fan base is so excited for this year that even losing a Reese Hoskins doesn't deter it, and maybe wrongfully so. We're saying, well, Derek Carr will be okay. Derek Carr can get it done. No. I don't know about that, but
who are you leaning towards to pick up that run production? Name one.
Castellanos.
That's one. Who's the other? Come on.
Bomer.
There you go.
Yeah.
Those two guys. Because think about it. Castellanos hit 13 last year, homers. He's got to put that well into the 20s.
Yeah, I agree.
He gets up
and
to
he
25.
Should at this ballpark, yeah.
He gets up to 25. He makes up for a lot of Reese's miss.
Yeah.
And Bohm, same thing. Show some power.
All right, so you're a manager of this ball club. It happens what happens with Reese Hoskins. I said it last week. I love that Thompson just came out and said, yeah, we're going to roll with Derek Carr. He didn't talk about all the switch and all that. What would you do as a manager? And if it's Derek Carr, how long would you give it?
I would give him a short leash on the left-handed pitchers. I mean, come on. He was 1 for 12 last year.
Yeah, that wasn't good.
7 strikeouts. I mean, you're not even in the ballpark. I mean, think about it.
Yeah.
1 for 12. There's something wrong against lefties. I would give him a few games against lefties if he's not showing any improvement. And I know people say, he was great in spring training, blah, blah, blah. Spring training means diddly. It means nothing.
Yeah.
This is a completely different beast. This is a third deck on a ballpark. You have to be ready to play every night, and the lefties are tougher
as
the season goes on.
How many spring trainings did you have where you had a good spring training?
1.
And how did you do that season?
That season, I was cut out of spring training by the Mets.
So was it a situation of you were going into most spring trainings working on stuff, and that's why you didn't do well?
My thing was velocity. I will tell you this much. You probably could look at the last 2 weeks of my spring trainings, and they were pretty dominant. But those first 2 weeks of games or 2.5 weeks of games were pretty horrible.
How would you put the percentage of guys working on stuff and guys actually? I don't want to necessarily say
a lot of guys
trying,
won't show their stuff in the spring.
Okay.
What they'll do is they'll show their stuff in their bullpens when they're throwing on the side. I mean, Wheeler's been throwing this new slider, kind of more of a slurvy type pitch. I mean, he showed it a couple times in games, but it wasn't like he was going out there and throwing it constantly in games. So you always keep something in your back pocket. For me, it was I'm going to come at you with fastballs because you think I'm a fastball pitcher. And then the last 2 weeks of spring, I'm going to throw my nasty 12-6 and see what you could do with it.
Nasty 12-6.
I had a nasty.
Some called it filthy.
Yeah, I was going to say ask Tommy Lasorda, but he passed away, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he's gone.
Way to bring the mood down.
Yeah, wow, Rick.
That's all right. He was a Dodger.
So let me ask you, as far as this pump thing goes with fans, as a player,
that's bringing it down.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. As a player, though, were you more pumped up on a season that you thought the team was going to be good, or it didn't matter because you got to go out and perform anyway?
It didn't matter. I think you wanted to go out there and put everything, your best foot forward. I used to have this wicked anxiety about opening day. I don't know what it was.
How would it affect you?
I did not want to go out there and have a bad opening day. And I think I had one opening day where I gave up a solo home run, and that was it. But, I mean, that opening day is crucial to me. I don't know what it was. You knew I could remember going out to Dodger Stadium and playing the Dodgers and Schilling pitches 8 innings, 1-0 game.
I remember that game.
Coming in after it. And I'm like, oh, better
beautiful
not mess
sunshine day. I remember that game.
And I think I struck 2 out of the 3 out and gave the old fist pump, got out of there. Nice little save on opening day. Yeah. I mean, certain opening days you remember a little bit more. I mean, it's funny because my first opening day was against the Cardinals. I don't even remember it.
Really? Because that was one of the questions I had for you while we're on here. I was going to ask you what's your biggest memory of opening day.
I had to sacrifice bunt in that game. That's why I remember.
In the Cardinals game.
And you know what? They were like, don't run hard. Just kind of jog it down the line. If I would have ran hard, base
you'd have beat it out?
Oh, it was a perfect
You
bunt.
Listened to them? They said don't run hard, and you listened?
Well, because I hadn't gone 2 innings at that point, and I was going back out for a second.
I heard you had good speed for a relief pitcher.
I don't know.
Whatever
what
that means.
Supposed to mean?
I have no idea. I know you can swing a golf club for a relief pitcher.
I could fly. For a relief pitcher, I could fly.
All right, things a little bit topsy-turvy here. John did take off for the rest of the day. His daughter's getting a nice – that was Ricky. His daughter's getting a nice award at Temple. So, Liv, congratulations, and I hope the Kincade family is awfully proud of her today. But, yeah, we'll go the rest of the day and tomorrow without John Kincade, so kind of difference coming up. But what isn't changing is today is game time. So at 8:30 game time, 610-632-0975 game time today. Call on in, get in on it. And Pat, do we have some world-changing prizes that we're going to give out today?
Yeah, we got some life-changing prizes for sure. As usual, we're not going to let you down with the opening day, so we have some life-changing prizes. Ricky's here. That's good.
That's a life-changing prize right there in itself there, Patrick.
Yes, I agree with him, Patrick.
Coach Camille is here.
Well, I don't think that's really life-changing. That probably that's kind of a buzzkill. But I do want to ask, are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Because you haven't had game time, and
it's been a while.
It's opening day for you too.
Am I ready for this? No, I've had 6 months off. Like I just said, opening day, you get the jitters. Butterflies flying all over the place in this body right now. But let's go.
Ricky's pumped, man. You've been lifting. You look bigger.
You look swole.
No, I'm serious. No, you're not. You stay in shape.
I was lifting, and then, my mom had a little spill up in Connecticut, so I kind of stopped for a little bit, and now I got to get back into it. I will be back in the gym tomorrow morning.
We all of our prayers go out to your mom, and hope she's recovering well.
She's doing better. She's doing better.
Good. Always a sucky thing when something happens to our parents. 610-632-0975. We're just minutes away from game time. But, Ricky, I got to ask you this question. Today is a great day. Opening day, we all love it. There's not a player, a fan that doesn't. What's the hardest part of the baseball season for a player?
I would say right after the All-Star break.
And is it pending whether your team's in it or not?
Yeah, it does a little bit. Number one, because after that All-Star break, then the trade rumors start because you're heading towards trade season. And then it's kind of like, all right, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? We're not playing well this year. We're not playing this year. Who's going to be here? Who's not going to be here? So I think it's just that stressful time. Once you get past the trade deadline, all of a sudden everything's kind of.
How many times were you traded on the deadline? I know one time weren't you on a boat one time or something when you got traded?
It was in November. I was in Clearwater.
I was
out
on
a boat. Right? No, I got traded to St. Louis, and I was out on a boat, and I heard it on like the 2020 Sports Flash, and I was like, "Did they just say?" I was married at the time. I looked at her. I said, "They just say my name," and she's like, "I wasn't really listening." So 2020 comes up again. Wouldn't you know it? That was my name. Heck yeah, I was traded. Was not called, nothing.
Did you fire that agent?
He didn't even know when I called him.
Oh, wow.
I don't know what happened. I don't know how it leaked out so quickly, but they had everything correct in the thing of who was going where.
That is just wrong. But what isn't wrong is doing game time. And, Pat, I have to tell you, I was thrown into the hot seat. I have no idea what the game is. I think I know how to press the buttons, but give us a little explanation of what we're doing today.
It's Thursday at 8:30, which means game time. Today we're playing baseball rule or not.
Uh-oh.
Now he's the master of ceremonies, a man who knows all the rules and chooses to ignore them anyway. Pat Egan.
That's right, the bad boy of Beasley. That's me.
Yes, you are.
Baseball rule or not, the way this is going to be played is we're going to give you a rule, and you have to tell me if it's a baseball rule or not. You guys are playing for the callers, okay?
All right.
So if you get it wrong, we're losing listeners. Just know that. No
Now,
pressure, though.
Could they say they don't agree with us?
Yeah, we could do that. So we're not taking the pressure?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, we'll do that. Sure. 610-632-0975. Today's prizes include a pair of tickets for Saturday's Flyers-Sabres game. We have a pair of tickets to see Sixers-Celtics on Tuesday, the Wells Fargo Center. A pair of tickets to go see the National League champion Phillies take on the Miami Marlins on April 12th. A pair of tickets to go see John Mayer. And a pair of passes to go see Prime Video's Air, starring Ben Affleck and Matt Damon.
You got some swag.
He ain't
you
kidding
think I
around
was-
today.
Did you think I was lying when I said life-changing
No,
prizes?
I appreciate this.
That's
I'm in
right.
the driver's seat over here. You
Busted-
didn't notice that
we-
today?
We busted out the good prizes.
I'm going
for
to be
you, Rick.
running this show in about 2 months.
Don't make promises you can't keep.
610-632-97. Let's start off with Anthony and
Am I doing the
Limerick.
phones or you or what?
I think your phone's broke.
Oh, my phone's broke?
Try it.
Well, let me try. Anthony and Limerick. Anthony, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. My phone is broke,
He
Pat.
came
Hold on,
on in
Anthony.
here.
Hold on 1 second.
So, Bob, this is so messed up.
Anthony, call back. I'm sorry.
Yeah, all
My
right.
phone's broken.
If Anthony, just call back.
Running start here, Rick.
So here's the issue, and we might have to have Connor come in.
Do you want me to hit line 2 on
Do
the
you-
left?
Well, Rick, honest to question, do you know how to work the phones?
No.
Let's switch seats real
Yeah,
quick.
so we're gonna have to
I
switch
wanna
seats
sit here.
because I'm gonna need someone to put the
All
call
I have
on.
to
I got
hit
you.
is a
I
stupid
got you.
button. I know what to
switch
hit.
seats, switch seats. All right? Master of ceremonies is me, not you. Okay? I'm calling the shots here. I'm Bob Barker. Thank you. We will go to Colin.
All right, here
on
we
the
go.
cell.
Wait a second. I heard you now. Where are we going, Colin?
on the cell.
Colin, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, good morning, guys.
All right, Colin, the good thing is you lead off the worst game time we've probably ever had so far.
No, we're going to kill it, Pat.
We're
Come
going
on.
to kick it in gear here.
You got Bob playing for you. You can agree or disagree. Bob, is this a rule or not? Player of opposing team shall not fraternize at any time while in uniform. Rule or not?
Who's this to?
It's Bob.
It's me. I'll go first. Colin, I say it's a rule. I'm going to say it is a rule. You can agree or disagree.
Colin, do you agree?
I'll agree with Bob.
Guess what?
Correct.
Yeah.
Nice, Colin.
It is a rule. It is Rule 3.09. A player of opposing team shall not fraternize at any time while in uniform. And you just won Colin a
I
pair
see
of
you
tickets.
cheating
All
over
right,
there,
Colin,
Bobby.
I'm putting you on hold. Pat, which is the hold button, top or bottom?
It's
And
the
we
top.
switch for this.
Top. Yes, all right,
There
we got
go.
this.
We're-
Okay.
We're rolling now, John.
All right.
Look, we got rocked in the first inning, but we're coming back strong. Colin just won a pair of tickets for Saturday's Flyers-Sabres game. Tickets available at PhiladelphiaFlyers.com. He also won, and we'll give these to the winners, a pair of passes to go see Prime Video's Air, starring Ben Affleck and Matt Damon on Wednesday, April 4th at 7:30 p.m. at the Regal UA King of Prussia.
Nice. I'm thinking of going over to
I
that.
saw it yesterday.
Oh, how'd you like it? Good? We'll talk about it later. All right, well, you want to go to Patrick and Audubon?
Let's go to Patrick and Audubon, yes.
All right, Patrick, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's going on, buddy?
Good morning, guys.
All right, now, Patrick, good news for you. You've got Ricky. All right, he played the game for a hot cup of coffee, I'd say?
Yeah, a couple days.
Okay. So the rule that I'll give you, Ricky, is a
Uh-oh.
player will get ejected from a game if he eats any food from a fan in the stands. Is that a rule or not?
Wow. I'm going to say not a rule because I saw Don Mattingly have popcorn out of somebody's popcorn and he did not get ejected.
Patrick, do you agree with Ricky or not?
I agree with Rick.
Yeah, good call. Yeah.
Nice. Way to
Not
go,
a rule,
Patrick.
Completely made up, and Patrick just won a pair of tickets to go see. How about those Philadelphia 76ers and the Boston Celtics on Tuesday at the Wells Fargo Center? To purchase tickets for any 76ers game, visit Ticketmaster.com/76ers. And you also won a pair of passes to go see Prime Video's Air at the UA King of Prussia on Wednesday at 7:30.
My hold button isn't working for some reason. Can somebody hold him?
No.
Let me say, hold on.
Unfortunately, it's all on you.
Nope, it's off now. I don't know what's going on. All right, Patrick, if we hung up on you, call us back, buddy. I don't know what's going on
This
here.
is kind of a disaster.
No, it's good. John in the Northeast is up next. Am I right, Pat?
Sure.
Okay, John in the Northeast, you're on 97.5. What's up, John?
What do you say, boys?
How you doing, buddy?
All right, John, you have Bob Cooney playing for you, okay?
All right, we got this, John.
Come on, Bobby.
I'm pumped. I'm psyched.
When the ball is put in play at the start of or during a game, all fielders other than the catcher shall be on fair territory. Once again, when the ball is put in play at the start of or during a game, all fielders other than the catcher shall be in fair territory.
I'm going, that's a rule, John.
John, do you agree or disagree?
I want to agree with Bobby.
Good call. Yep, it is a rule.
Nice.
Rule number 4.03, of course. And we just won John a pair of tickets to go see the National League champion Phillies take on the Marlins on Wednesday, April 12th at 4:05. For tickets, go to Phillies.com, and a pair of passes to go see Prime Video's Air with Ben Affleck, Matt Damon.
Good job.
On Wednesday.
All right.
Let's keep it rolling to Rich in New Jersey.
Hey, Rich, how's it going, buddy?
Good morning. Good morning. Nice to
Rich,
you guys.
you've got Ricky playing for you. Ricky, the rule is if a play follows a catcher's interference call, the manager of the offense may advise the plate umpire that he elects to decline the interference penalty and accept the play. Such election shall be made.
Oh, that is true.
Sir.
That is true.
Sir.
He
You
didn't
can't-
finish the rule.
Let me finish my statement or not.
Sir. Such election shall be made immediately at the end of the play. Now you may respond.
I'm going to say that is a rule because if you get a base hit on it, you play that through.
Sorry, Rich. We have rules here, and apparently P doesn't follow them. But do you agree with Ricky? Is that a rule?
I agree. That's a rule.
Yeah, he was so emphatic, and it is in fact a rule. He doesn't
Good
follow
job,
the
Rich.
rules,
Good job,
but he
Ricky,
knows
Ricky,
the
and
rules.
Rich.
Take that, coach.
Rich
Take that, coach.
ends up winning a pair of passes to go see John Mayer on Saturday, October 7th at the Wells Fargo Center. Tickets go on sale tomorrow, March 31st at 9 a.m. at wellsfargocenterphilly.com, and a pair of passes to go see Air on Wednesday at the Regal UA King of Prussia. Let's go to Julian in North Philly.
Hey, Julian, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, what's up?
How you doing?
All right, Bob.
Yes.
The rule that I'll give you: if hit by a pitch, a batter can decline going to first base. Rule or not?
I got to say that's not a rule, Julian.
Julian, do you agree or disagree?
Yeah, I'm agree with Bob.
Yeah, it's not a rule.
Nice.
I actually
boy,
did pull
Bobby.
this in Little League one time. I said, no, I ain't doing it. And I sat there because I was so mad because you only got like
Pat
4.
sat down on the plate.
Well, no, you only got like 4 chances to hit, obviously. I was playing once a week. I was like, I'm not sitting
What was
here
he, Kelly Leak?
wussing out. And I
Kelly Leak.
I refused to go, but I didn't make the majors where it's a rule. Anyway, no one cares about my athletic accomplishments.
I do.
Or-
Do you know who Kelly Leak was?
It's a bad mother.
Yeah,
I
for
bought
the
a
Bad
nickel
News
from him
Bears.
last
Yeah.
week, and he told me if I don't have a dime by Friday, he'd break my arm. Dude, I'm a movie guy. Stop.
Driving,
I was talking to Coach.
driving his motorcycle, too, all over the field.
Yep. Julian ends up winning a pair of tickets to Saturday's Flyers-Sabres game. Tickets available at PhiladelphiaFlyers.com and a pair of passes to go see Air. Let's get a couple more in here, all right? Let's go to Scott in Quakertown.
Hey, Scott, what's going on?
How you doing?
Good.
All right, Scott, you're playing with Ricky. Ricky, the rule I'll give you: each runner may advance 3 bases if a fielder deliberately touches a fair ball with his cap, mask, or any part of his uniform detached from its proper place on the person.
I believe that's true.
All right, do you agree or disagree, Scott?
I agree.
That's fine. Yes!
Wow, I didn't know that at all.
Rule
What?
number 7.05.
I've actually seen it happen with the catcher's mask.
Good job, Scott.
Yeah,
so what,
it
you get
happened last
3
season.
bases on it?
Yes, you cannot pick up a ball or scoop it up with your mask.
It happened last season. It was I think a rookie catcher, and the ball kind of got away from it. It hit his chest, and he went to just go kind of corral it with his mask, not thinking.
Yes, you can't
and
do
he
that.
got called for it. Yeah.
Wow.
But luckily, that stupid rule ends up winning our buddy Scott here a pair of tickets to see those fighting Phils take on the Miami Marlins on Wednesday, April 12th, 4:05. For tickets, go to Phillies.com and a pair of passes to go see Air. Let's get one more in.
All right, we got Anthony in Limerick because I accidentally hung up on him earlier. Anthony, what's going on, buddy?
What's up, guys? Trey Turner's hitting a home run today.
Oh, there it is.
Anthony, first of all, from the bottom of our hearts here at the John Kincade Show, I apologize. Bob doesn't care about you, and
I
he
do
hung up
care.
on you, but just know that some people do. And we are going to give you this rule with Bob, actually. Sorry about that. If a batter fouls a ball off and the ball gets stuck in the umpire's or catcher's mask or paraphernalia, all runners advance 1 base. Rule or not?
I'm going to say, feel free, Anthony, but I'm going to say not a rule.
Anthony, do you agree or disagree?
100%.
You disagree 100%? Great call. Yes, Anthony
job,
disagreed
Pat.
100%, and it, in fact, is a rule.
Oh,
Yeah,
can
believe
you
it or not.
state that again?
If a batter fouls a ball off and the ball gets stuck in the umpire's or catcher's mask or paraphernalia, all runners advance one base. It's a rule.
I'm still
It's
gonna
rule
say that's
5.0. How do you?
He's
dude,
got
it's-
it. He's
it's
got it
rule
right there.
Because you said he
5.09G.
hit a foul ball.
If a batter fouls a ball, I don't know what to tell you, man. It's rule 5.09G.
So you're gonna
How do you
tell-
not know this?
You're going to tell me a ball gets fouled off into the mask of the
And it sticks in the umpire's
sticks
mask.
It's a foul ball.
It's a foul ball, but people are advancing. It's rule. I feel like John right now. I'm repeating myself.
No, don't feel mad. We're just surprised that it's a rule. We're not mad
but
at
I
you,
got
Pat.
the former pitcher arguing with me. It's rule 5.09G.
But he doesn't want people advancing. He's
I
a
just
pitcher
think
for
that's
crying
the
out loud.
You hit a foul ball and it goes in an umpire. I don't get it.
I got the rule book right here, man. Don't blame me. Blame Manfred.
I just don't get it. I bet you that's never happened.
I think it's dumb, but you know what I don't think is dumb is the fact that we just won. We just won our buddy Anthony here a pair of passes to go see John Mayer on Saturday, October 7th at the Wells Fargo Center. Tickets go on sale tomorrow, March 31st at 9 a.m., wellsfargocenterphilly.com. And we won him a pair of passes to go see the movie Air on Wednesday, 7:30.
Sweet.
Prussia.
So, Pat, great job doing game time again. You are always awesome as master of ceremonies. Proud of
we
you.
got kind of rocked in the first
That's
inning.
okay.
And we gave
We're
a
all
bit of a
right.
run in the second, but you know we came back.
Yeah,
came
we're
back with a
closed
vengeance.
because we have Ricky, who's a closer. So we closed it out well.
We ended up. It's like the stat line said, 7 innings, 4 earned runs. But if you actually watch the game, you realize how strong of a performance it was.
I totally agree. Now, give me a little synopsis on Air. Was it pretty good or what? Damon and what's his face are in
Ben
it,
Affleck,
right? Yeah,
Ben Affleck directs. Dude, it was so good.
Oh, it was.
It was so damn good because it's not about Michael Jordan.
Right.
They don't even show the.
They don't show Jordan at all, right?
Yeah,
I saw an interview.
they won't. They'll show him, but they won't show his face. The guy who's playing him, because it's not about him. It's really about creating the brand of the Jordan brand. And if you're into sports, you'll love it. But if you're into like a business type movie, you'll love seeing the razor thin line that these guys had to take, because it was like, if we don't get Jordan, then we're folding the division. And now we know how big of a brand Nike is. But Affleck killed it. Damon killed it. Chris Rock was great. Viola Davis doesn't miss. She was incredible. So, yeah, I rush out to see it. It's
my most important question on a movie, Ricky, is always, how long was it?
2 hours.
Oh, really?
And it flew. Yeah.
Oh, that's
and it
cool.
was really good. So I can't suggest it enough.
Nike
for
is
everybody
Jordan to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
Bill
kinda-
Knight and Jordan.
same,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
It was kind of like how the movie kind of went into how signing Michael Jordan disrupted the entire industry of shoes, and how like Converse and Adidas were the name brands, and how Sonny Vaccaro, who Bob, I'm sure you know all too well, he kind of like really put it on the table for Michael Jordan. But it was really interesting look. And if I had to equate it to a movie, if you've ever seen the movie The Founder with Michael Keaton about kind of the creation of McDonald's, it's a lot like that, but for shoe heads, for sneakerheads.
How many movies have they done together?
Ben Affleck and Matt Damon?
Yeah.
I'd have to look. I mean, Good Will
is it a
Hunting,
lot?
for sure.
And is it without doubt what their best movie is together? Good Will Hunting?
I mean,
is,
Good Will Hunting's probably the
Good
best
Will
one they're
Hunting.
known
Yeah.
for. I mean, it won an Oscar.
Could this one hold a candle to that?
I like this better than Good Will Hunting.
Oh, did you really?
I like the apple scene from Good. Do you like them apples?
Yeah.
But, like, it was okay. I wasn't like enamored with it, but I mean, it's hard for me to go into them and take this with a grain of salt, because sports movies, I'm like biased towards.
I think we all are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like this. Hey, this movie's made for me, but this movie wasn't necessarily a sports movie. It really was
About the
more of a-
branding
of a business movie,
Right.
and the building of a brand. But it was really, really well done. It was funny too, and the soundtrack is fire. Like they had
It was
just
funny?
no, yeah, it was fun. Chris Rock is in it, and
Oh,
he
well,
brings
yeah,
a lot of
that's-
levity to the situation. But yeah, it was funny, and it was also funny hearing, like at one point, and this isn't giving anything away. Matt Damon goes into a convenience store and he's playing Sonny Vaccaro, and he asks the guy his opinion on Jordan because he's up in Oregon. And the guy's like, "Nah, man, we got Sam Bowie. We're good. That Jordan guy, I don't think he's ever going to be anything." And then fast forward like a year later, and that same guy's like, "Man, I knew he was going to be good. I knew we should have gotten him." So, like in the moments like that, it's funny because you get the revisionist history of the fact. So it was interesting how they maneuvered it.
Is the soundtrack comparable to The Greatest Showman? Because that's your favorite soundtrack of all time.
Let's not go there.
Settle down.
And
I need to settle.
Yeah. First of all, we have to break.
I know we do.
because I could go on a tangent.
I
But,
got you.
Coach he does know stuff, and he said they've done 12 movies together.
Oh, thank you, Coach. Much appreciate that. All right, this is the John Kincade Show here at 97.5 The Fanatic. When we get back, It is opening day. I have a bunch of questions that I've written down that I want to ask Ricky about. But if you want to also, 610-632-0975. What do you want to ask the former All-Star on opening day here at 97.5 The Fanatic? Go, Pat Egan, Coach Camille. We're even going to get Connor to come in here and talk some baseball, Ricky, because, you know, he is the reigning best baseball player in the studio, according to him.
MVP of softball.
MVP of softball with as many walks. Great on-base percentage in softball.
It's ridiculous.
Ricky, do you think you could hit him?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not like physically. I'm talking like if we set up a competition,
100%.
he's pitching to you?
100%.
I think we got to set that up. I don't doubt you. I would love to see two guys who are competitive go at each other.
I'm not going to be responsible for a line drive back at him, though.
Yeah,
because that's how I was taught to hit.
Well, I love you, Connor. I don't think you're striking out Ricky.
Okay.
I mean,
listen.
people forget this thing. Most of the best pitchers in high school, then college, and eventually are the best athletes growing up of their generation, of their grouping. We'll
sit there and say they suck, and you forget that like this guy was the man.
Yeah.
I totally get that.
Yeah.
I don't think Ricky sucks at all.
No, I don't think you're going to strike him out at all either.
Yeah, here's the thing. We've had this conversation like 4 or 5 times. I'm willing to do it. If we want to do it, we can do it.
Ricky's up for the challenge. I'll put some money. We can lay some money down and see what's going on.
I'm not going to have much fear if that's what you're asking.
No, you shouldn't. I don't throw that hard.
I'm just saying. I was a catcher in high school and college, so I don't care.
You can still hit.
I could still swing.
There's no question.
I mean, it's not like I'd go out and swing a bat every day, but
no, but you could still get it done. Opening day here, 97.5 The Fanatic. Got Phillies this afternoon. Start at 4 at the Texas Rangers. We will be at P.J. Wellahan's out in Doylestown. So come on out if you want to watch a game. We might be able. So Ricky, we're there from 4 to 6. What inning do we get to at 6 o'clock when is our scheduled leaving time? What inning will the Phillies game be in with the new rules?
It'll be in the either 7th or the 8th.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, and we're not leaving if it's in the 7th or 8th.
No, we're not.
You have to sit.
We're
and wait.
staying.
Yeah.
Well, score pending.
Yeah, score pending. So, what's your outlook? We've done this on the morning show, and I have some questions for you that we've already done. But what's your outlook on this team this season, and what are some of the bigger things that need to be done, maybe that we're overlooking in our excitement for this season?
I think number one, figuring out the bullpen. I know you got a lot of great arms out there, but you got to figure out some kind of rotation that you're going to use in the bullpen. I mean, Craig Kimbrell is 4 or 6 saves away from 400 for his career. I'm sure he's going to want to get some opportunities. Sir Anthony, as long as he's on his game, he also could close. You have Alvarado that could close. I know it's going to be game time decisions with those guys of, who's coming up in the lineup and stuff like that. But I think the bullpen and managing the bullpen is going to be a big thing to me. I think if Rob manages that bullpen well, it's going to be a well-oiled machine. If he has some hiccups somewhere in line with that, you could get some angry bullpen guys.
Connor, one of the strongest suits of their team, is it the bullpen?
They're going to be a top 10 bullpen in baseball, no problem. They could be top 5 if the guys have really good years. So, yeah, you could call it a strength. They don't have many weaknesses, though. So I hesitate to be like, oh, it's the strength of this team, because kind of everything's a strength. They're really good, though, and the top 4 guys they have in Soto, Alvarado, Dominguez, and Kimbrel, you can go toe-to-toe with the top 4 guys anybody has.
And even go as far down as Brogdon, Bellotti. Right. These guys got arms.
Now, Junior Marte and Vasquez, those guys are...
I didn't like what I saw from Marte. It was a couple days ago.
No, but he threw like 40-some innings last year for the Giants and wasn't awful. So
I know, but he looked like, I don't know. He just looked awfully odd in that last outing of spring training. I didn't like that. I usually like to see sharpness when you're leaving there.
Yeah.
And, well, that's not a good case for Aaron Nola then, because I was watching last Saturday, and he absolutely got lit by the Yankees.
Yeah.
It means that much, though, Ricky? Like, I know we talk about, and Pat brought it up earlier, you work on things. You guys pitchers are working on things down there. So when they get lit up, it's like, well, I'm just working on something.
But work schmirk. Once you get to the point where you feel like the bell's about to ring, you better be on top of your game. You better at least have a feel for everything. It may not show result-wise, but if you have a feel for everything, you feel like your breaking ball is good, you feel like your changeup is good, and your fastball, you're placing it, that's what you need to do. Once you get that feel, you should be ready for opening day. I mean, nobody knows who's ready for opening day and who's not. Are we going to see Aaron Nola for 7 innings? Probably not today.
Are we going to see any opening day pitcher for 7 innings or more?
Somebody will. There's always that one guy.
No, I don't.
I don't know, maybe not. I don't know, but
It's
there's
something
always
we'll look
one
at
guy
tomorrow.
that steps
Over
up.
under. I'll put the over
I'm going to
under
say
2.
1.
1?
Yeah, so I'll go under.
I'll take the under.
I'll go under.
It's in because that's how many times in your life opening day and you're like, oh man, my pitcher went 8. You're talking about Kurt Schilling.
But
Schilling went 8 and you got the 9.
Yeah, it's Scherzer. I could see him.
Yeah, but they won't let him. Your other pitcher is 40 in Verlander. You're not going to burn these guys out. He could. He absolutely could.
They're both
He's not going
burn
to
themselves out.
Yes.
And by the way, we have to move to something because the one thing that did I just do that to you?
No.
The one thing with the Phillies is where do you replace the 30 and 100 RBIs of Rhys Hoskins? So let's start with Derek Hall. What do you think he's going to give you? I'm asking you guys.
It's that chair. I think out of Derek Hall, if given the chance, and I'm not saying like this is on Rob Thompson. Derek Hall has to get the chance because of Derek Hall.
Yeah.
So if given the chance, if he's good enough that he gets a chance, I don't think 20 is unrealistic. I don't think 20 and 65 is unrealistic if he gets 450 plate appearances.
All right, let's move to June. How many left-handed pitchers is he facing?
Yeah, he's going to have to at some point. He's got like 12 career bats against lefties at the major league level. They got to try it at
12.
least.
He's 1 for 12.
Yeah, I know. He's 083. It's not good.
Not a huge sample size. I get it. But it's still 1 for 12 with 7 strikeouts. That's
you don't have any other
not good.
Like he's your best option though, so you kind of got to find out if he can hit lefties, throw him into the deep end, and see if he can swim.
Yeah, okay, but no. But I said June. Is he still swinging against lefties in June?
I hope so, but I'm hesitant to say yes.
I mean, I'm giving him 2 months to figure it out against lefties. I think at that point in time, you have to say, okay, either I'm going with a platoon, I'm looking for somebody else, or I'm going to stick with this guy.
And it's not like he's a young kid that you're saying, all right, go in there and you're going to have to figure it out on your own.
Right.
The guy's 26 years old. This is an important season. I don't think you can live with it. 2 months is a long time, right? If he's going up there and flailing all the time against lefties, it's a real problem.
I said 2 months because I think that's plenty of time. I mean, he'll see plenty of left-handed pitching by then. And the other thing is, where are you? You said if he hits 20 home runs, so that's 11 from last year. You're still missing.
About 10.
You're missing 10 plus RBIs.
Trey Turner's going to hit more than Segura hit, so you're going to get those on top.
Okay.
Alec Boehm will probably give you 5 more than he hit last year.
The big one.
Yeah,
and the big one.
Nick Castellanos needs to leave the yard.
I think he's going to have a good year. I don't know
I hope
why.
so.
I don't have any real reason for it because his at-bats in spring training, I mean, every once in a while he'd pop one out of the park this year in spring training, but then you'd see some of that glimpse of going after those sliders outside. But he did walk quite a few times in the spring. I think that's a good sign for him.
I do too. Absolutely.
I think it's a really good sign for him.
Well, he's such a coin flip. Like, I don't know. Sometimes he looks like he's got it figured out, and then sometimes he goes back to seeing 3 straight sliders away and he's gone. So it's such a mental
flip.
thing.
That's a good name for him.
The coin flip.
The coin flip.
He's gonna fight me. I don't want that
what
to
do you
be
got coming
put
up?
on my
Well,
name.
coin flip.
Hey, head to PJ's to catch all college tournament action and go there today. We're going to be there in Doylestown. We're going to watch the Phillies together. They have tons of TVs, great bars featuring $15 Miller Lite buckets for the entire tournament. Why would you go anywhere else than your local PJ Willihan's? We'll be there today, 4 o'clock. See some Phillies game. All right, Ricky, this is what we did yesterday, and I wanted you to jump in on this too. We went over some subjects with the Phillies and gave a prediction on what we think may happen, so I wanted to pose them to you.
Yep.
Just 5 quick things. Who's going to be your most improved Phillies player this year?
Nick Castellanos.
All right.
I think he has to be. For this team to be good, I think he has to be.
I put the over-under on him at 60.5 for doubles and home runs combined.
Over. Yeah.
He's got it, almost has to have it, right?
He hits his doubles. I think
to me, he's a doubles hitter.
He's a gap-to-gap guy, yeah. I think over.
Okay. So Castellanos most improved. Phillies win total you already gave us at 93. Where do they finish in division? Second, you said?
Second.
Okay. Behind the Braves.
Yeah, the reason why I said 93 is because a lot of this season has a lot to do with everybody else that you're playing, not necessarily your division. You're playing everybody in the league. You're going all over the country. You have 4 West Coast trips. I think those trips are the ones that become very important.
Would you have liked that as a player, playing everybody in the league and having 4 West Coast trips?
I would have liked that.
Yeah?
Yeah, I did. You got to understand, when we started doing the interleague play, it was like, okay, we're going to play the Yankees and the Red Sox. What?
That's cool.
That's cool? Yeah, it was great going to Yankee Stadium and Fenway Park. Ball doesn't fly out of those places at all against those.
Well, you're looking at it like a pitcher. I'm looking at it like I get to play at Fenway and I get to play at Yankee Stadium.
I did get to take batting practice at both, so I thought it was pretty cool.
Did you pop them out at Fenway
Yankee
easily?
Stadium? Well, I'm a lefty. Yankee Stadium
that's right.
was easier for me.
Oh, God. That's what, 315 down the line? Maybe
less
that?
than
I
that.
bet you it was not even that.
303 maybe.
Yeah.
Did you try to put it over the Green Monster or no?
I did. I got one into the net at the Green Monster.
Did you?
Yeah, it's hard for a left. Well, I guess if there was a little pop on the ball, you could get one out there easier.
And Connor thinks he can strike you out. All right, the home run leader for the Phillies this year will be?
Schwarber.
How many?
48.
Ooh. Connor.
I think I said 48. Either 48 or 46.
I had 42. Wow. Pat had 50. Connor
he had 46 last year?
He had 46 last year.
48. I think he has more.
Why?
I just think this lineup is so stacked that even with him in it, you got to pitch to him.
All right, now your saves leader for your Philadelphia Phillies will be saves leader. We were just hitting on the subject a little bit.
Sir Anthony.
Yeah, how many?
Hey, Sir Anthony, come get your dinner. Huh?
How many?
Oh, it's not going to be that many. It'll be in the mid-20, 25.
Yeah, we were all there, although we had all different people.
There's going to be other people having saves. Plus, they don't go 3 days in a row.
Right. I had Alvarado as the leader at 23. Pat had Sir Anthony at 22. Connor had Soto at 19. And John had Sir Anthony at 24. Now, you mentioned Kimbrel. Mm-hmm. He is used to being a closer. He has been throughout his whole career.
8.
So how do you use him
Just
early
what he
on?
needs.
Do you take him? Do you take him out of his element early on? Is that a danger of taking him out of his element?
I think they're going to put him in his element right
to start.
Away. Yeah, and I think if he gets the job done, they might let him fly for a little while. But if he's not, it's going to be a quick switch.
How do you think it will fly, or do you think it's going to be a quick switch?
I think it'll be a switch after about a month.
Yeah,
but I don't know if it's going to be because. How do I put this? Because he fails completely. I just think there's going to be somebody that steps up and shines.
All right. Now, Schwarber, it's interesting. You say he gets 48. What does and Connor, I want to ask you this also. What does a Trey Turner do for this lineup besides the spectacular bat that he has? We've seen the home runs in the World Baseball Classic. He comes spring training, keeps popping them out. You're going to get those type of numbers. But what more does he mean to a lineup, and how does it affect a Kyle Schwarber going to number 2 and having a guy on base a lot of times when he comes up to bat?
It's simple. He distracts pitchers. You get a guy that fast on there, and all of a sudden, Schwarber's going to get him. Even if he gets steal second, he's going to get the third because Schwarber's going to hit the ball to the right side. That run, you're going to give up a run. I mean, there is a very good chance that automatically, if Turner gets on and he steals, you're giving up a run with Schwarber coming up behind him. Because of that right side, not only one run, you might be giving up at least 2 runs because Schwarber's not afraid to turn and burn on a ball, and that'll get quite simple. That'll get Turner over to third base. Sac fly brings him in regardless of the situation. So I think he just brings an extra added dimension, that just an extra run here and there, and it's got to bother a pitcher.
Yeah, for sure. He's this generation's Jimmy Rollins. Like, he's your prime leadoff hitter who's got wheels, can play with his glove. He's going to be able to hit the ball out of the yard. Especially, we haven't seen him play in a hitter's park like this. Dodger Stadium isn't too hard to get it out of, and neither is
the air's different.
Right, exactly.
You'd be surprised.
Like,
it's
he's
not
going
as easy as everybody thinks.
He's going to have a really good offensive year here. And look how he's swinging it already. Like, he's coming into the season hot. He's a game changer, and it also, like, it's just he's your best overall player on this team.
Yeah, I got
Bryce Harper.
I got to ask you brought up Jimmy Rollins. I won't compare Turner to anybody.
Okay, why's that?
Because I really believe that he's going to make his own stitch in history here.
I agree with you. I'm just saying the type of impact he brings to this lineup would be like adding Jimmy Rollins to. I know he was on the team before, but like if you added him to that 08 team, and you're like, oh wow, now we've got this guy. Like, he's that level of player that can impact.
But what happened yesterday was somebody called in and said Chase Utley. He reminds me nothing of Chase.
No,
Utley.
not remotely.
Nothing.
Not at all.
I was like, well, we asked why.
Yeah.
And there wasn't really a good reason.
Now, if Stott could be Utley, that'd be cool. That might be something that he could turn into. And they're not even that similar because he's not going to hit that many home runs in his career.
I think he's one guy. Stott is one guy that has to still prove himself.
Yes.
I think a lot of people think he's embedded here right now. I think he's a good player. I think he could be a really good player as time goes on, but he still has to prove himself.
I was impressed with him in the playoffs last year that the moment didn't seem to be over his head.
Yeah, he didn't care.
An eye at the plate, came up obviously with a clutch hit. I mean, did he hit 300 throughout the playoffs? No, but you could see the growth of him in the playoffs. And growing in a playoff, I think, is even exemplified because it's the playoffs.
I think one thing that has to be clear from Rob Thompson is do not bring your at-bats into the field. We need you in the field because they have a potent lineup as it is. He's like a bonus to me. I think Bryson Stott's a bonus.
Yeah, for sure. Him and Marsh are both down there. And whatever you get from Jake Cave, too, we'll probably spend some time in left.
I think Marsh is important. The reason why I say that is you're the one turning the lineup back up to Turner.
Right.
Think about that for a second.
That's true.
He could have some big at-bats during the summer. That could lead to a lot of runs.
Yeah, and he's very interesting.
They gave up a decent bit for him, so.
Oh, Hoppy?
Yeah.
Yeah, Hoppy made the team.
Yeah, saw that.
Yeah, because he's good.
Yeah.
He's a good player.
I mean, they don't have another catcher in L.A., and they're rebuilding, so it makes sense. But you gave up a top 5 prospect for Brandon Marsh thinking you could fix him. If you can't fix him, there's an issue.
I agree.
Hey, the final stretch of John Kincade Show is presented by Stretch Zone. Your body deserves a good stretch. At Stretch Zone, you'll get a great one. Book your free 30-minute stretch session today at StretchZone.com. So, Ricky, we went over what our opening day lineups would be the other day. I go back and forth at the beginning of spring training. I had Bohm hitting second. I do a whole bunch of different things. What would your opening lineup be today? And I don't think it's been out yet, Pat. I haven't seen it on Twitter, but I don't know if you've seen it, Ricky. If you have, it doesn't matter. Just tell us you're in Topper's position. Who you throwing out there when as far as your opening lineup?
I think number one, I'm going to go with Turner. I think he's about as prototypical as you would
the bold choice
find.
there, Rick.
Yeah.
Schwarber will bat second. Real Muto will bat third.
Yep.
Now, here's where I get bold. I'm going to put Hall in the 4 spot.
As you should.
I did, too. You had him there also? I had Hall hitting fourth also.
He's done it before. In the 5 hole, I'm going to Casty.
Okay.
6 is going to be a little bit of a surprise. I'm going with Cave.
Okay.
In the 6, I'm going Bohm. 7, Stott, and then Marsh.
Okay.
And that 5, 6, 7, I don't know how he's going to do it the only reason I put the Cave in and those guys because it's deGrom.
All right.
Right-handed thrower.
Okay.
Yeah.
Get your lefty up higher than Bohm. I think if it's opposite, I go Bohm 6 and Cave 7.
Bohm, I think, is going to have a year that if they do start him at 6 or 7 or whatever it may be, I think it's going to be pretty soon that people might be clamoring for him to move up in the order a little bit.
We're going to find out what kind of guy he is this season.
Yeah?
Like this, I think, is the season that determines whether he's a really, really good player or if he's an okay player if he's like I don't want to diminish him, but like a Cesar Hernandez type. He's a nice player you can have for a couple of years, and then eventually you're going to want to look to upgrade.
Bohm will get some spots where he bats very high up in the lineup. Whether he bats third, maybe second every once in a while, he's going to get some opportunities.
So I think we're all feeling pretty decent about this season. But Pat, for some reason, and I think maybe we said his name before, doesn't feel good about today.
I don't feel good about today.
Is it deGrom? Totally deGrom?
Is it deGrom or Nola?
No, it's a little bit of both, honestly. But it's more of deGrom than anything else. deGrom owns them. I also don't know how Nola is going to react to the pitch clock thing. Now, you can make a case for both sides that he gets rocked because of it and he doesn't respond well because he's the slowest moving pitcher on the staff, or it gives him less time to think about runners on base and he's able to flourish with it. I don't know, but what I do know is that Jacob deGrom has always worked quickly and that he dominates the Phillies, and I don't think that it's going to be any different today. I think that he goes out there and he puts on a show for Texas and proves to them why they gave him all that money. And I think it's a low-scoring 3-1 game, and we're going to be disappointed, and we're going to want more. And Texas Rangers aren't a good team, and I don't think all of a sudden they're rebuilt because of this move. But I think deGrom goes out there and shuts them down. So while I like them this season, I think they're going to be a playoff team. I don't like them today at all.
You've seen a pitcher's own teams,
yeah,
and vice versa. How much of it is mental and how much of it is physical?
I would say 90% mental,
Really?
90% mental.
Wow.
Because you have the same physical attributes no matter where you go.
Yeah.
So think about that for a second.
But you're also going against a guy whose physical attributes in deGrom are pretty damn good.
Yeah, but there's also ballparks where you feel more comfortable. I used to love pitching at Wrigley. People used to say I was nuts. My last 21 innings at Wrigley, zip, nothing.
Really?
Yeah.
Look at you.
And the worst part was every time I'd go into Wrigley, it would be like the bottom excerpt every game. Well, so-and-so's reliever, Ricky Patelico, hasn't given up a run at Wrigley and blah, blah, blah.
Why did you feel so comfortable there? You don't know?
I had, from my first day there, I gave up a home run there. But, I mean, it was one of those fields where you feel very comfortable that if the ball was hit on the ground, I mean, there was 2 inches of grass. It wasn't going anywhere back then. Now they changed the grass down to, like, golf course grass. But not only that, but if the wind was blowing in, here's your fastball. Good. Go ahead, because you're not in and out. If it's blowing out, that just helped my breaking balls.
Was it more windy at Wrigley most of the time when you pitch, or is that overrated a little bit?
Always windy there.
Yeah.
One way or the other. In or out,
yeah.
It was always windy there.
This is the John Kincade Show. Bob Cooney here with Ricky Patelico. We got Connor Thomas. We have Pat Egan. And Ricky, who are you brought to us by today?
I join you courtesy of our good friends at Paul B. Moyer and Sons. Go where the pros go for outdoor power equipment, from mowers and zero turns to hedgers and trimmers. Shop Paul B. Moyer and Sons in Doylestown or Jameson, Pennsylvania, or online at paulbmoyer.com. Is it Jameson or Jameson?
Jamison.
Well, I know the drink.
Jamison.
It's Jamison.
Jamison?
Yeah. Jamison, like the thing you put on a bagel. Or
we'll call it Yamison.
Yeah, we could call it whatever we want. We can do whatever we want. John's not here, so we can have fun and do whatever.
Yanni. We could call him Yanni, too.
Yeah, we could do that also. All right, when we get back, this is the John Kincade Show. When we get back, we're going to get more into the Phillies opening day. Also want to talk to you about the game we were at last night a little bit, Ricky, with the Sixers, where they stand now, how your confidence might be growing or dwindling in whatever happened with that team last night. We'll talk about it, that, and a whole bunch more here on the John Kincade Show at 97.5 The Fanatic. And I also have to tell you that the tournament is heating up. Get in on the action with FanDuel in partnership with Valley Forge, America's John is out watching his daughter Olivia get an award at Temple this morning, so he took off a little early. So we got Bob Cooney, Ricky Batalico, Pat Egan, Coach Eric Camille, and the man, the myth, and the legend joining us right now, Ricky.
Rusted Root?
No.
Oh.
Try again. Oh, you're digging this.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Philadelphia Phillies.
All tanned up and ready to go.
John Brazier.
What's up, Bob? What's up, Ricky
What's up, John?
Bell?
How are you, buddy?
Pat? Oh,
Pumped,
good.
psyched?
I just literally got back yesterday. I was in Florida since February 24th.
Tough life.
Yeah, and I guess I do have the George Hamilton. Anybody over 40 years old will get that reference.
You got the thing going.
You look pretty tan.
Got the tan working. Well, I am part Cuban, as you know, Ricky. So,
Cubano.
yes. So it's great. It was great spring. Other than obviously Reese going down, which was very tough. But hopefully Derek Hall can fill in and some other guys. But it was, the cool thing was about this spring training was that there was very few open spots, right?
Two?
Very few open spots on the both in the bullpen and all in I guess the rotation too that ends up being, but also in the, as players, and everybody that was competing for that spot, whether it's Jake Cave, whether it's
Scott,
Cody Clemens, whether it's Scott Kingery, all of them all had Derek Hall, everybody had really good springs. Even Dalton Guthrie got off to a tough start, and then he came on towards the end. So it's I guess that the competition brought out the best in everybody.
I was surprised, and I had to look into myself a little bit with this. I don't know if somebody said it or if I saw it on a show or I read it, but they said, let's be honest, coming out of spring training, it wasn't a good one for the Phillies. I think I read it, and I was like, wait, what? And then when you dive a little deeper into it with the Reese Hoskins thing, and nothing of their own doing at all.
Right.
With the
Suarez.
Reese and with Ranger.
And Painter.
Right. It didn't hit me that it was a bad spring training in any way. Is that just stupid optimism on my part, or was it a tough one?
I think you're right. I think Suarez hopefully is, it's something that's a temporary setback that he can, he'll be fine and won't be out too long. And then Painter, I think we all know he needs rest, and then that could be a blessing in disguise. He comes back in the middle of the season. Next thing you know, he's not on an innings count at that point.
Yeah.
Right. He can kind of come through to the end of the year. Harper, obviously, we knew he was going to be out. So, but it sounds like things are progressing very well. I mean, the guys.
They didn't put him on the 60.
Right, which is a good news. And, Reese is the bummer. But again, you had Derek Hall come in. You hate to losing Reese hurts a bunch of ways. Obviously, it's a big right-handed bat. He's a guy that can carry the team on his back. But he's also, one of the undisputed leaders in the clubhouse. He and JT and Schwarber and Harper, obviously the big leaders. But Reese has been around the longest, and he's a guy that carries a lot of weight in that clubhouse. Hopefully he's going to be around to kind of provide that. But yes, I think overall, other than that, again, there was great competition, and there's great vibe down there. I think Rob Thompson, the coaching staff, Dave Dombrowski, we just picked up Christian Pash, and that he provides great defense out there.
I was just looking. Did they send down Guthrie yet?
No, I'm not sure what
they have to do.
You're
something,
looking for inside info, and John's not ready to get it.
No. Well, they have to do it today at some point. I just didn't know if I missed something.
Right. So I don't know. So it's going to be. I love this day. I wish we were home right now because it's.
Doesn't that make it feel weird?
It does a little bit, and it's funny because the team went from spring training right to Texas, then they go to New York, then they come here, and I almost put my bag on the wrong truck. There's a truck that goes back to Philly. There's a truck that goes to Texas. That would have been bad news, but and it's not like we have right, and it's not like we have a break. You get deGrom, right? You get Eovaldi, I guess. Eovaldi, you got the second game, and I don't know who do you have, Martin Perez, and then
it's not going to be easy.
No, and then you get the Yankees, for 3 games, and you come here, and you have the Reds. So it's I can't wait. But today is fun because. First time since 1968. Bob, I think you said this. First time since 1968 that all the teams are playing on the same day.
Is that amazing?
Yeah, because I guess the Reds always kind of had that.
Remember Martin Schott? They used to always get the first game at home, too.
And they'd have a parade and the whole deal. So it's going to be such a fun year. No shift, bigger bases, pitch clock. The hitters have to be in the box. You got you're playing the schedule where you're playing every team in the National and American League. So it's really going to be an interesting year.
It's going to be fun. I was telling Bob that, those games within your division are there. You have to be at least 500 against everybody.
Yep.
Because I was talking about the Mets. Like, they played bad against the Mets. If you go 3-10 against the Mets, you're 7 games behind them.
Yep.
And there's no making those games up.
No.
Yeah,
No.
you have less games against the Nats and the Marlins. Although last year we did well against the Marlins, but they've been a perennial thorn in our side.
I think what's going to show everything is whoever goes out west, because the Phillies have 4 West Coast trips. Whoever goes out there and does well,
yep.
I think that's the one who comes out on top of the division.
Probably. I like the fact, and I don't know how you feel about it, John. I like that everybody's playing everybody.
I do too.
Yeah.
It does get a little old as a fan, to keep playing the Marlins and keep playing the Nationals and Mets and Braves. You want to go play and not just one division, the American League. You want to play all the teams.
Yeah.
You want to see the Red Sox. You want to see the, even some of the more. You want to see the Angels. I mean, last year you had Trout coming in and Ohtani, and so it's you want to see some of those stars that you normally don't get to see.
How long before they completely change the divisions?
That's a good question.
I think it's coming soon.
So
I think they're doing this for a reason, to prep everybody.
Kind of set the stage.
Could be.
It's going to end up being Boston, the 2 New York teams, Philadelphia, and probably like
Pittsburgh? Baltimore?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Hey, that has to be coming into play.
How about the rivalries you would get there?
Oh, that would be awesome.
And then also just
the
what's going to
Amtrak. They should just call it Amtrak.
What's going to be exciting too is I'm sure you guys heard that next Thursday fans are going to see the new scoreboard, and that scoreboard is
huge.
Fantastic. Someone was saying, you could see it from way up top. So I think it's the Great Wall of China and the Phillies' new Fanavision that you can see from outer space.
I've seen planes coming in, people taking pictures out of the plane.
Right.
And
it's 77% larger than the old one, and the old one was huge, right? Someone's saying you can fit like 516 life-size Fanatics.
Now, how many different things do they do? Like, how many different shots are they going to have on there?
I think that's the thing. They're going to have, you're going to have clarity. The colors are very vibrant, and you're able to do, like, stat heads are going to love it because we're going to be able to do replays, stats, like things that are on that board. That's, it's going to be good for the kids. It's going to be good for stat heads. It's going to be good
Didn't they just get the new scoreboard?
I feel like they did. I thought
it was a couple of years ago.
But
what's new is old anymore.
I tell you what, things go quick. We have the oldest ballpark in the National League East. Isn't that crazy?
Is that right?
Yeah, Citizens Bank Park is the oldest ballpark in the National League East.
You're right.
Think about it.
Still the best.
And it feels like it still is the best.
Feels like it was built yesterday.
Right. It was 2004. Wasn't that long ago.
I love that stadium.
Guess to some people
19 years ago.
I know, but it feels like it was just not too long ago.
That's
what are they? This is going to sound ridiculous, but what is the lifespan of a
ballpark?
Stadium?
I don't know. Well, the vet went from 71 to 2003.
3, yeah.
That's 33 years.
I remember going back to Camden Yards. I have family in Baltimore, so when it first opened, going down there and being like, "Oh my God, this place is the greatest." Going there a couple of years ago, I was like, "Man, this place is old." Citizens Bank Park doesn't feel old to me.
No.
Well, what I love that it's that and similar to Baycare Ballpark down in Clearwater is the original concept was that you didn't want to miss any of the action for fans. They could walk around the entire concourse without going into a dark area, and they can keep an eye on the game the whole time.
Yeah.
And that's the same as down in Clearwater and up here. And I think that's the first thing that fans really notice when they come in from other parks. Again, you go into Camden Yards, you go into a concourse to get a hot dog, and now you're shut off from the field. You can't see anything. Even Utah Street, which is a great street with Boog's Barbecue and all that. But again, there's only certain parts of that Utah Street you can see the field. And we learned from the mistakes that some other teams made and enhanced that. And again, I think the fan experience of the ballpark, and now especially with the new scoreboard, it's unparalleled.
I having been here my whole life, I've seen games at JFK, the Vet, the Spectrum, all of them, and I say this without hesitation that Citizens Bank Park is my favorite.
Yep.
By far my favorite.
It's timeless. They did a great job.
Yeah, I love it there. 9 o'clock hour, it's brought to you by the Bagster Dumpster in a Bag. Get yours today at Home Depot and Lowe's. For details, go to Bagster.com. John, you talked a little bit about all the rule changes that have come into play for this year. I think it's for the betterment of the game. I think it's the fact that we're talking about doing a 2-hour happy hour today, and we might be able to see almost the whole game, which was unheard of before. I think all the rules this year, great. Are there any other ones? And Ricky, being a former player, whether it be shortening of a schedule or anything else you'd like to see in baseball come about, or definitely don't want to see, which has been talked about? Because I have one when it comes to the automatic
the
umpire.
grind is the grind of baseball. I think that's part of the pleasures of baseball, that it goes 162 games. I will tell you.
Some people aren't made for grind, though.
Well, my first full season was a shortened season, and it was 140-something games. It seemed like we hardly even played. Isn't that a little odd?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And it's your first season. I would think that
20
you'd be
games
like,
less.
Yeah.
It was so basically a month shortened.
So 162, I think it has to stay in baseball because of the numbers and how much that comes into play.
Right.
Exactly.
Integrity of the records.
Yeah.
And it's funny when you're a player or an employee, when the team's not doing well, and Ricky can attest to this, 162 games when you're in August, September, it's a grind. But that being said, conversely, last year, we were obviously in it right to the very end. We clinched on the Monday, with 3 games left. And then roll right into the playoffs, and this, so it can be one or the other.
It's pretty unbelievable. Last year in September, that Saturday afternoon first game in Washington.
Right.
Oh my good! Tell me you didn't want to just rip everybody apart. I mean, they got destroyed in Washington, and I remember thinking to myself, "They're going to blow this in Washington." And they didn't.
And they came back and won the second and then won the next 2.
The next night was the most important. That second game that day, that Saturday afternoon, was everything.
We were very resilient all year. It's and this year again. Now you add Trey Turner. Trey Turner, fans I know got a glimpse of him in this past because he's been in the league for a long time. But wait till the Philadelphia fans really see what this guy brings to the table, because if he wanted to steal 50 bases in a season, he could do it. He's got power, obviously. He hit 5 home runs in the World Baseball Classic. He's going to hit for average. He's, with his shift, or with a ban on the shift, now it puts more of a premium on the range of the shortstops. And, there's no problem there.
Yeah, he's got that.
And so he really brings everything to the table. I think Charlie Manuel compared him a little bit to Chase, which is, he is that kind of grinder. He's not, he's not going to be loud. But he does everything really well. And he plays hard, and I think fans are going to love this guy.
John, you get excited, obviously, for every opening day, and you have for years and years. And there's been some down years, as you very well know. And going into a season, sometimes it might be a down year. Where's the excitement level for this one? Is it comparable to the run of, like, say, 7 through 11, 12, whatever? Is it right there with expectations and excitedness?
Yeah, I think it's 2007, obviously, we make it into the playoffs. And the way we made it into the playoffs was unbelievable, because remember, it came down to the last game.
Oh, yeah.
When the Mets basically were playing an hour before us, and they were choking, and then we realized all we had to do is beat the Marlins.
Who was the pitcher for the Mets that got bombed that game?
Right. It was Glavine, was it?
Tom Glavine.
Yeah, it was Tom Glavine.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah.
I didn't remember that.
So I almost compared it to 2008, because you saw the excitement in 2007, and then we made some additions to 2008, and people are super excited. This is different because obviously we made it to the World Series on a magical run that kind of somewhat came out of nowhere, and just with so many exciting plays with, they always say if you win a championship, you need contributions from everybody. Well, we did. We got it from, exciting moments from Nick Maton, from Garrett Stubbs, from, Bryson Stott, up and down the lineup. Then you also got him, obviously, with your superstars. So, by making that magical run, if we had did nothing, there'd still be excitement. But, Dave Dombrowski went out and got probably the best free agent in baseball, Trey Turner, added to the rotation. You switched out Eflin, and you bring in Taijuan Walker. You fortify the bullpen, with Soto and Kimbrel and Strom, and so now, to me, you have that excitement from last year, but now you've added upon that. Now again, you're not going to have Reese, so you're going to have to hope that Derek Hall really steps up. You're not going to have Bryce, but we didn't have Bryce for a good part of last year. But now knowing that Bryce is going to be recovered and he can come back fully healthy and hopefully play the field and all that. So I think this team's stronger than last year, and I think Rob Thompson has another year under his belt. And I see great things, and I think the fans, obviously, it's reflected in our season tickets. It's reflected on just the overall excitement down in Florida.
See the big smile? It's reflected on our season tickets.
Well, that's a question. But I think you see more down in Florida. You really get a good vibe on what the fans are feeling. I was down there pretty much the whole month, and fans are they can't wait for this game to start. They can't wait.
Yeah. So talk about season tickets a little bit, because it was one of Kincaid's big talks last year, saying, look, they're in a run for the division and for a playoff spot. but the attendance just wasn't there all that much towards the end. In the playoffs, it was phenomenal.
In baseball, it's a build up, and a lot of it depends on your season ticket base. Obviously, if you have a good season ticket base, then your games on a Tuesday in April when school's in session, against the Reds are going to be what your season ticket base is.
Right.
It used to be walk-ups, though, right? A while back.
Well, but then when the team does well, that's when you start getting the walk-ups and there's a momentum. So, right now our season tickets doubled from last year. So you're going to see, basically games starting, in the high teens, 20s. We've already sold out. Obviously, opening day is sold out. Saturday is sold out. Sunday is when we're getting all the players are getting their rings. There can be a big ceremony before the game. That's not sold out, but the tickets are going really well.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have the Marlins Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. But it's a slow build, but you can see the excitement, and we'll get there. It'll keep going, hopefully better and better.
I got to tell you, my daughter Olivia.
Yep.
That's how I
gauge
everything,
Yep.
like as to where the excitement is. And she's coming next Sunday, so she is or next Saturday, absolutely out of her mind, fired up. So I'm like, okay, so people are ready for this. Like, because I played it for so long. You're kind of used to opening days as years go on. Am I right?
Yeah, but it's still.
But you were in spring training the whole time. I've been sitting in this room the whole time.
Opening day is always still the home opener is always the most exciting. I mean, I always say it's like Christmas, your birthday, New Year's, all Easter, everything all rolled into one.
Your anniversary.
It's just your anniversary, right? Sorry, yes, Jill.
Jill, that's my girl.
But it's very exciting because you have the crowd's all revved up for the season. You've got all the pageantry. You've got, we're going to still have Kane Callis doing the national anthem in front of his dad's statue, which is always pretty cool. You got the giant American flag unfurled while the boys choir is doing America the Beautiful. You got the players doing the walk-in, parade through the crowd, through Ashburn Alley.
Nothing's changing. They're still doing everything.
A lot of the tradition. Then you have the leapfrogs, hopefully weather permitting. But then we do have
68
we always have
partly cloudy.
Well, it's more the wind is that you're.
I'm just letting you know the weather.
But tell me
good by you.
Tell me what the wind's going to be, and then I'll tell you if the leaf.
Hold on, let's see if I can get you the wind.
But then we have some surprises that we're like we always do in our back pocket, which fans are going to love. So.
What are the surprises?
Well,
that's why it's a surprise, Ricky.
But the National League pennant will be hoisted up, right? So that'll be a fun moment too, a very cool moment. So opening day is going to be the best.
I was always a fan of opening day because you brought out not you in particular, baseball brought out, I forget what they call them. What do you call the red, white, and blue things that you put up only during the playoffs?
They're just
bunting.
Yes.
Bunting.
The banners,
bunting,
right?
Yeah.
Bunting. Yeah.
But you have bunting up for the opening game. And I always, as a little kid, I
leave
got
it
always
up for
excited.
the weekend, don't they?
Sorry?
Don't they leave it up for the weekend?
The bunting?
Just, yeah.
I think they keep it up the whole weekend, yep.
Yeah. So you no hints on the surprises. Just know that it's going to be another fun
Philly fans are going to love it.
Yeah?
Philadelphia fans, I should say, are going to love it. So.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
wait a minute.
Cool.
Next Thursday, right?
Next Thursday, the 6th.
Oh, Ricky, don't get that. Don't look bad into the future.
Let me put it this way. The temperature went up,
Good.
but it says showers.
Well, it's funny because there's always the day before opening day is usually the best weather. Then because you're always thinking like, God, I wish there was one day later.
It's all 60s and 70s next week.
But it could turn.
Oh, perfect.
It could turn.
Yeah, showers be damned. New Jersey Transit. The New Jersey Transit Police Department reminds you that we all need to work together to keep our transit system safe. Report suspicious activity to 888-TIPS-NJT or text your report on NJTPD. Ricky, who's the most important Phillies player going into this season?
Nick Castellanos. I think if he has a big year, that makes up for a lot of the loss of Rhys Hoskins. And I think you just need him to develop some power numbers. Get back to where he was when he was with Cincinnati. Be that guy. Be that guy that hits the ball out of the ballpark. RBIs, he's got to be up near 100.
So you saw him swinging down in Clearwater.
Yep.
What do you think? Is he on track? Do you think we get the more Cincinnati version of Nick Castellanos this
I think
year?
you're going to get the Nick that's on the back of his baseball card. The stats you see.
Bigger numbers.
And I think to me, I'm going to cheat here because if you're going to ask me that question, I'm saying three guys because it's Marsh, Stott, and Bohm because those are three guys that are still young, obviously, and they can, hopefully their power. I mean, Bohm already gained 14 pounds in muscle. Stott looks very good, and he looked very good towards the end of the year. And same thing with Marsh. But there's so much upside in those three. You kind of know what you're getting with some of the veterans, right? For the most part,
sure,
or what you can expect. But those three guys, again, Stott, Bohm, and Marsh, if they can keep, raising their game, it'll help negate, the effect of not having Reese. And then obviously Derek Hall is very big too to provide that power at first base.
And I think just the fact that those guys that you named went through a playoff run.
Yep.
Know what it's like to play
Totally
through
agree.
a play. That
Totally
brings
agree.
really.
Yes, I think it gives them more of a comfort level, right? They're not coming in as rookies. They're not coming in as, they went through the battle with everybody on that team. They're not only, and I think that's one of the reasons why this team did very well, because the veterans, whether it's Schwarber, Hoskins, Harper, Real Muto, those guys allowed the rookies to have fun. Enrique Patalki can tell you this, that it used to be back in the day. Yeah, it used to be back in the day, you were to be seen, not heard. If you're a rookie, whether it's Kevin Stocker coming up in 93, you're supposed, and Kevin's quiet anyway, but you're supposed to be quiet and don't have a personality, just play the game, right? Do things you're expected. And now, those guys, with Rob Thompson's approval, obviously, they allowed those young guys to flourish and have fun and bring out their personality.
Yeah.
And I think that really helped them gel and allowed them to relax and do so well, which we needed for success last year.
He's absolutely right. I mean, coming up, it was not easy. You came up to the big leagues, you almost felt like you were an outcast.
Yeah, it does seem like it's a shift. I mean, you see the rookies leading the dances in the clubhouse in celebrations. We know the relationship between Bryce Harper and Bryson Stott, and it just carries over into does that make for the great clubhouse that they had?
It only takes one guy to change it, and the guy is Bryce Harper. He's the guy that I feel like has changed the whole atmosphere within the Phillies organization.
But I think it's all those guys.
He kind of started with taking in Bryson Stott.
Yep.
Stott was living with him and stuff like that.
I think Schwarber, too, has a very fun personality. And everyone kind of brought different elements of leadership. The four
He's
guys
my
I
favorite.
mentioned. And, but again, they make him feel comfortable. There's no hazing.
Yeah.
There's not a hazing, from the veterans to the rookies. Everyone kind of was in together. And, again, the rookies could be themselves, which was very important.
Who's your favorite on the team?
He doesn't have favorites. He loves them all, Rick. It's like having kids.
Reese is my favorite.
I have a favorite. I'm a Schwarber guy.
Well, it's funny. We had Mickey Morandini on the show a couple of weeks ago on a Friday, and we were talking about Harper and missing the leadership of that. And he was like kind of shaking his head. And we're like, well, what, Harper's not a leader? And he goes, oh, no. God, no, he is. He goes, but I'm telling you, I think the leader in that clubhouse is Kyle Schwarber.
Well, especially now, I'm not sure if Reese is going to be around.
Yeah.
As he's rehabbing. But Schwarber definitely is a huge leader in that clubhouse. Just in everything.
I got to tell you, if I'm Reese, I'm going to try to stay away. And I don't mean this in like a bad way. It's just it's going to be eating at him. If he's there, I was there for a while when I hurt my shoulder, and you want to talk about just going into a dark cloud?
Really? See, my personality, I think, and I could be wrong. I never went through it, obviously. If I got it, I would still want to be around to kill the time that I'm missing away. Do my rehab and then go to the game or go and be with the guys. I don't know. I think that's what I'd want to do, but you went through it and you said you couldn't.
Here's what happens is that you go to your rehab, you'll do rehab with the trainers and the people that condition people at the stadium, and then that's it. I mean, what do you do?
I don't know.
You're going to hang out with the players while they're going out and taking batting practice every day and this, maybe for a couple days, maybe for a week.
Gets old quick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't feel like part of that team.
Now, how would you handle with the situation that they have with the pitching staff now, Suarez being out and all? How do you handle the first few weeks of the season with this? Do you make it as simple as,
skip 5? I mean, seriously, you could skip 5 twice in a row. I know that because you have a day off this week, day off next week.
Now, are you putting too much strain on Wheeler and Nola early?
Because they had a shortened season.
Yeah.
Shortened off season.
I mean, because you're going to have to keep an eye on that. I'd be surprised if we're looking at 32,
but that's
33
why you have
starts
such a
from them.
deep bullpen.
Right.
To pick up those extra innings every game. But, I mean, there's only so far that will go, too. So, yeah, I didn't like what happened. Obviously, Nola got tired in the playoffs, but he was going full bore for months. And that's what happens when you have to play out those last 2 weeks of the season and kind of scratch your way through everything. You're going to see a lot of your number one, a lot of number two. And I didn't like that Wheeler went down in August last year. So, yeah, you're going to try everything you can. Maybe a game where Nola would go 8, you only put him in there for 7, save those 20 pitches. It's not going to be as drastic as you think that if Aaron Nola is on top of his game and it's the 5th inning and they're up 8-0, they're not going to take him out right there.
You made a statement right there. You said Wheeler went down last season. and I'm not being facetious, I'm honestly asking, did he go down or was he put down?
Was he fatigued?
Whatever they did, I thought they made the right move.
I think he was hurting a little bit. I believe it was his elbow, right?
Wasn't
it the elbow last year? Does anybody recall?
Something like that.
I think it was. Yeah, I think it was.
He said he had some tenderness in his elbow, which is what we hear like from Ranger right now. And who knows? I mean, it's a little different. I probably would have been out immediately when I played and had surgery right away.
And the reason I ask is because I wonder in all of baseball, you shut down an ace in the middle of the season. You kept him from maybe 5 starts, whatever. It helped out on the back end. I wonder if some teams, with the way load management and all that stuff is, I wonder if some teams are going to go through a season and say, no, the number one's going to miss a couple of starts just to get some rest.
I wouldn't doubt if they have some kind of a lead at some point, you just can't do it. If you're chasing somebody, you just can't do it.
Yeah.
Well, and sometimes opportunities present. Matt Strom is going to be, could be a spot starter, and who knows? Maybe Strom, maybe he's a better starter than a reliever. Obviously, he's been more of a reliever than starter.
Right.
Last year, Bailey Falter. Look what Bailey Falter did. I mean,
I love Bailey Falter.
Yeah, I mean, what he did last year, no one saw that coming. So this is the time to kind of see what you got. Plasmeyer, some other guys. Who knows who's going to step up? Cool story about Matt Strom. I don't know if you know this. He's from North Dakota, right? He's from Fargo. Carson Wentz is from Bismarck.
Okay.
He was asked in spring training, did he ever face Carson Wentz? Because they're about the same age, right? He said his last pitch against Carson Wentz in high school, it was Matt Strom's last pitch in high school. Carson Wentz hit a bases-clearing triple off him. How about that? For that info.
That's not good. We don't like that.
Well,
we don't like that info, John.
Yeah, that was high school. Got it out of the way.
Yeah. All right. We'll take that. So, just an overview of the summer, John. You guys do so many great things. You have the players come back that weekend and all. Just give us a synopsis of what we can look forward to this summer with the Phillies and the fun and games.
Yep, we're gonna have great giveaways. We're gonna have theme nights like we always do. We're gonna have dollar dogs and fireworks. There's gonna be post-game concerts. And if you think about it, right now is the it's the 30th anniversary of the 93 team, right? Yep, 30th anniversary of the 93 team.
Yeah.
It is the 40th anniversary of the 83 team with Sarge.
Yep. The Wheeze Kids.
The Wheeze Kids,
yeah.
exactly right.
Yes, well.
It was basically the Reds lineup.
It was.
That turned into the Phillies, right? With
Grab them
Perez
after their prime and throw them in there, yeah.
So throughout the year, it's going to be great. And as I said, as the weather gets better and we're going to have bigger crowds, it's really going to be a fun year. So, and then I mentioned the scoreboard. I think we're doing a big thing on Monday where we're unveiling what's new at the ballpark. And I know one of the things new is there's going to be a sandwich. I haven't tried it. I haven't even seen it. I'm not even sure if I know the name of it, but I know that there's a sandwich that was named in honor of Charlie Manuel. So,
oh, really?
Yes. So
wait, it's a cheesesteak, isn't it?
I'm pretty sure it's a cheesesteak.
Yeah, it's some kind of a
Charlie's.
cheesesteak.
So it's but we'll know more information on Monday. You guys will be out there, right?
Yeah.
For the what's new.
Absolutely.
So, but again, then that scoreboard is just going to be absolutely awesome.
I kind of worry about the people driving on 95 going past the Phillies game during a Phillies game and something spectacular.
Oh, 95, you could see it perfectly.
I mean,
by the way, I just was scrolling down and I saw the Barstool had somebody taking the picture from the plane.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's spectacular. And what amazed me, we parked there and tailgated for Springsteen a couple of weeks ago, how far back it is from the outfield.
Yep.
Because it's so big, it doesn't have to be right on top of the field.
Huge.
Yeah, it is. It's spectacular.
I saw pictures of from the top of it. Guys took pictures looking down. Man, no thanks. I'm not going up on that.
No, I would never.
Have you gone in it?
I have not yet. I just got back yesterday.
Are you going to go in it?
Yeah. Today I want to go check it out. I don't know how far I can get in there, but.
Why can't you get in there?
I don't know. I got to.
You're John Brazier. You can do whatever you want.
Put on a hard hat. You'll be fine.
Sure.
Yeah, you're good to go. You've been on every radio station this morning already.
Actually, it's got to be done, right?
I imagine so, right? Or else there's some people panicking right now. Maybe it's not fully done. I mean, we still have a week to go. So.
I saw pictures of them running stuff on it on Twitter a couple of days ago, and that's where I got the 95 thing. People were like, yeah, this is a pretty good distraction here. Maybe you have to put up a big black tarp or something so people can't see it. But it's spectacular. The ballpark's spectacular. It's going to be a great, great season. And
we're ready.
No season is ready without you, John Brazier.
Thanks, Bob.
You are the man, the myth, and the legend. We appreciate
you. Ricky Bo is the myth and the legend.
Johnny B.
Especially the ice cream guy down at the The Shores of
Oh, the
Avalon.
Shore. Oh, yeah.
Loves Ricky Bo.
There's every time we have John Brazier in here and Ricky Bo is here also, I can tell you're biting your tongue a little bit because you have so many stories that you want to tell about Ricky Bo, but you really can't.
Yes, if there was a B-roll version of the show, which maybe we should have that in the offering.
Yeah, we
sometime. Yes, there'd be a lot of great Ricky Bo stories. You know,
there's some good ones.
I used to do a radio show with Ricky Bo, again, down at the shore, the Golden Inn, which is no longer the Golden Inn, but it's down in Avalon, Stone Harbor.
We used to have our feet right in the sand.
Our feet would be in the sand. We'd be facing the people that are coming off the beach. And I'd be in a very important topic, you know, getting deep into this, whatever we're talking about. And Ricky would be lost because he'd be staring at, you know, at some of the people coming off the beach. And
you know what I'm staring at.
I know what you're saying, Ricky.
Yes, many times with Ricky Bo.
Yeah, I've heard a couple of stories. I don't think we can mention maybe some beer cans to heads or something like that. I don't know. But
those shilling.
yeah, you know. Oh, you never mentioned who it was before, but you just threw it out
there you
there
go.
now. Yeah, throwing beer
Brazier
cans.
has mentioned it. I know he has.
I heard it off air, never heard it on air, so I didn't know.
I think we both heard from Schilling, too.
Yeah, I'm sure you did. Ricky, who are you brought to us by again? We're so happy to have you here today.
If you give me the
Do
paper,
you know?
I'll read it.
Well, God, you certainly can. We are just doing it well here today, John Brazier. You guys probably did it better on the beach than we did mid-show today.
Don't get the. Well, now I got to.
It's somewhere.
Here we go.
There you go.
I joined.
There you go, Pat.
I joined your show, courtesy of our good friends at Paul B. Moyer and Sons. Go where the pros go for outdoor power equipment, from mowers and zero turns to hedgers and trimmers. Shop Paul B. Moyer and Sons in Doylestown or Jameson, Pennsylvania, or online at paulbmoyer.com.
All right. John, we thank you so much for joining us. Good luck this year. Go Phils.
John Jameson or Jamson?
Jamison.
Jameson. All Irish guys say Jameson. Hey, your local PJ Wellahans, we're going to be in Doylestown today. Try PJ's new seasonal specials, including their wing of the month, the Tennessee Two-Step, created with a mashup of their signature sauces, Nashville Hot and Garlic Parm. Oh, I can't wait to get some of them today. Only at your local PJs. We thank you for joining us today on the John Kincade Show. We'll be back at you tomorrow. John will not be here, so we're going to have Jamie Lynch in house all day tomorrow. We're breaking out the big bucks, Ricky. We're going to have Jamie Lynch here, so hope you join us tomorrow.
Good luck.
Hope you have a great, great day. Come and join us at Doylestown. We'll be there at 4 o'clock, and we hope to hear from you tomorrow here at the John Kincade Show, 97.5 The Fanatic.
The John Kincade Show.
You're a middle-aged man. You can't be a DJ.
On 97.5 The Fanatic. Philadelphia.
Tens of thousands affected by the toxic water at Camp Lejeune are left with death, cancer, Parkinson's, dementia, birth defects, and other serious illnesses. And along with the harm, so many worries.
My family drank the Camp Lejeune water. What if our health gets worse and we need more financial help?
How do I protect my VA benefits and get the compensation I deserve and need?
The answer is simple. Call James Harris Law, the experienced, trusted law firm that can get you significant compensation while protecting all your VA benefits. We're already fighting for